This is a Clouds weather alert.
Good Sunday morning, everybody. Meteorologist Casey Cloud here in the Weather Center right now, giving you the latest on the severe thunderstorm situation in southwestern Georgia. You can see that yellow box there, including parts of Baker, Early, Miller, Mitchell, and Seminole counties until about 9 o'clock this morning. Let's go ahead and jump on over toward the other mode. It's really especially around Miller County where some of the worst of this potential is at this point in time. Seeing some weak rotation with this as well. There's a tornado possible tag on this, so we really wanted to jump in just to be on the safe side here because you just never know in some of these situations. We've already seen some weaker tornado signatures with debris popping up in toward parts of southern Alabama and the Florida Panhandle just west of the area this morning. So wanted to really err on the side of caution to tornado watch and play for just a little while longer. We have a slight risk now in play as well towards some of our western counties, so a little bit of an increase here from what we were seeing earlier on. Looking at rotation tracker, it looks a little bit weaker than it did a few moments ago, but still some wind energy moving right toward the community of Colquitt there right now in Miller County. So just got to be really careful there around Colquitt in Miller County as we have this severe thunderstorm warning in play until 9 o'clock this morning. At 7:59, it's a thunderstorm located in the vicinity of Donaldsonville, moving east here generally, though there's a little bit of a northerly component. It's at 30 miles an hour to speed. So Miller County, southwestern Mitchell, western Baker here in Georgia, southern Early and northeastern Seminole counties. I know being past sunrise now, that can help us here with some development on some of this as we're seeing Colquitt, Donaldsonville, Damascus, as well as Babcock, Milford, the community of Hopeful, Howard's Mill, Crestview, even getting over to Boynton, Hawkinstown, Mimsville, Enterprise, Harmony Church, Old Damascus, Cooktown, and Jeterville all under this severe thunderstorm warning with this tornado possible tag. The main hazard right now will be maximum wind gusts around 60 miles an hour versus an actual tornado. That's why they haven't gone with a tornado warning here at this point. The weather service in Tallahassee, but that could change. I know it does look a little weaker than it did a couple scans ago, but it could pulse right back up here with little notice, Roy. You can see these brighter colors back here. That's what we were getting concerned about. And you can see they're a little bit dimmer looking. That means maybe a little bit weaker winds right now, but we have areas we just have to pay attention to. I know down here in Gadsden County, this could get a warning of some kind pretty soon. We're seeing some pinks in there. As I back that up, we're seeing winds in excess of 50 miles an hour possibility moving toward Interstate 10 there in Gadsden County. So a little bit of weak rotation there as well, but more probability wind potential with that ahead of a main line further back here, seeing some winds in there as well. But okay, speaking of that area, now they just have issued a warning, a severe thunderstorm warning with a tornado possible tag all the way to 9:45 now. That's a very long fused warning for parts of Calhoun as well as Franklin, Gadsden, Gulf, Jackson, Leon, Liberty, and Wakulla County. So kind of changing that description a little. We started off just a moment ago with that warning in Georgia. We're now in toward Florida as well. We have this severe thunderstorm warning, very big area included a long fused warning. So at about 8:12, severe thunderstorms looking along a line extending from near Chattahoochee to New Mexico Beach. Moving east at only 15 miles an hour. It's a very slow moving. Southeastern Jackson County just outside of the area. Gulf County just outside as well. Even central Calhoun. But then in the water area, we have western Wakulla, Gadsden, Liberty, southwestern Leon, and Franklin counties here in the Eastern Time Zone area then until 9:45 underneath this warning. So severe thunderstorms located along the line extending from near Chattahoochee to New Mexico Beach, moving east about 15, and you're talking about Tallahassee, at least part of it included, as well as Caribou, East Point, Apalachicola, Quincy, Havana, Bluntstown, Midway, St. George Island, Port St. Joe, Mexico Beach, Stone Mill Creek, Chattahoochee, Greensboro, Orange, Franklin. We will Hitchcock, Sneed, Gretna, and Bristol under this here. So just got to be kind of cognizant of what we're dealing with. Again, some weak rotation, some gusty winds here, maybe severe wind at 60 mile an hour Roy 60 miles per hour, a possibility. I know you can see north of Bluntstown there we have some brighter colors showing up on the Doppler algorithm on the velocity mode, so that'll be something to kind of monitor here. I know up toward Colquitt we have some winds coming together here as well, so definitely cause for concern here this morning with now 2 severe thunderstorm warning polygons on the screen. Just got to be careful here. Let me go ahead and check some other information. We'll go ahead and kind of go to that broad perspective here. You'll be able to see what we're dealing with the overall risk area. The slight risk here in play for just the western areas now. And that would include a 5% tornado risk. And then the wind risk there, not up to 15% like it is further up toward the north. But also up there's a tornado risk that's a little bit higher. But it's kind of just some different maximums here this morning on the Doppler radar. So again, you see these warnings in the far western fringes of the viewing area here. 2 severe thunderstorm warnings. Sticking with us at least for a little bit here. Of course, there's tornado warnings we have to be on. And using our discretion right now for the severe thunderstorm warnings, but some weak rotation riding here just around Colquitt, the community of Colquitt in Muller County, and then some weak rotation here just south of I-10 there in Gadsden County, and then some more wind back out toward the west here. Maybe not as much rotation, but just some stronger wind potential in general. So we're watching this very carefully here. Let me go ahead and just continue to give you guys the very latest as we're tracking things. I know we're just trying to give you guys everything you need here to protect you, your friends, and your family. So again, just trying to let you guys know exactly what we're dealing with here. Let's go ahead and zoom back on in. That's some strong wind just there north of Bluntstown, seeing winds to about 60 miles an hour. Moving there into Liberty County, then in Gadsden County. That's where we have the weak rotation there. Showing up again just south of Interstate 10. So I just have to be kind of careful that we'll be watching that, obviously. No tornado warning right now, though, which is good. Looking debris tracker, nothing on that here. Going back toward the south, nothing really popping up. It doesn't seem at this point, but we're going to keep looking, keep tracking, keep monitoring things. I know eventually this will all be into Tallahassee. Hopefully it'll start to weaken a little bit more by the time it gets that way. But right now, severe thunderstorm warnings in play here, both in Florida and in Georgia. Georgia to 9, Florida all the way to 9:45. That's an hour and a half here with some slower moving accents. So definitely got to be really cognizant here. We are in alert mode. Again, let's go ahead and kind of go back over to another view here. Another view that we have. Again, you can kind of see here our severe thunderstorm warnings at the present time. You can see the temperatures here, 60s to 70. Okay, they're extending the tornado watch now further east to end the time of it. So you're about to see that kind of move along here on the screen. In fact, you're going to see additional counties added. So they've just gone ahead and decided here that Franklin, Gadsden, Jefferson, Leon, Liberty, McCullough, talking about the Jacksonville office not doing it yet, but the Tallahassee office is what we're talking about this. And then into toward Georgia, Baker, Colquitt, Decatur, Dougherty, Grady, Lee, Miller, Seminole, Thomas, Tiff, Turner, Worth. I know some of these might be talking about counties here that have already been in it to some degree as you're been watching the scenario. But now the time's also been expanded here out a little bit further until 11 a.m. And those are Roy counties like Clay, Early, Quitman, Randolph, and Terrell. So again, a nasty situation here this morning. Again, the tornado watch now being expanded off toward the east. That means we're watching for potentially dangerous conditions in and close to that watch area. And that does include areas around Tallahassee, the main FSU campus, FAMU, TCC, of course. Talking about the Albany area as well. Just got to be really careful there on Dougherty County. So Again, you have our logo red here. We have a couple warnings. These are yellow boxes right now, severe thunderstorm warnings that are in play here. Let's jump back over to our other mode. You can kind of get an idea of what we're talking about here. Again, severe thunderstorm warnings in play. I know you can see some of this wind energy here. Some of this wind energy. You're seeing some of it there right around Bluntstown, just north of town. Now this stuff, this pattern here, this time of year can kind of change pretty quickly here. This El Nino pattern will have the certain characteristics here. Things can kind of pulse up, pulse down real quick, so you have to be really careful in this type of situation. Can't let our guard down, and they're looking at things here across the 62 counties. And then as we look here, no more tornado warnings right now, but there's a tornado watch in play again to 11 now. As I alluded to, stay tuned for the latest updates and have multiple ways to receive alerts. As we go ahead and keep looking here at the Doppler radar, again, looking up there on Colquitt there in Miller County. Right now, looking a little weaker, but sometimes the radar angle kind of plays a role here. Let's check this radar. It looks kind of a little bit weaker, but it could pulse up real quick. Down here looks a little bit stronger in Liberty County, but that's about 6,000 feet up. Let's go to Tallahassee's view on this. It's about 3,000 feet up. It also looks a little weaker temporarily, but again, this could pulse back up here pretty quickly, so just have to be careful in that regard here this morning. Can't let our guard down for sure. Can't let our guard down in this type of situation. We'll just continue to give you guys the very latest here. Continue to give you guys the very latest. Let's see if there's anything in terms of any questions, any comments here this morning as we try to let you guys know what's going on. And not seeing anything too much except I see Suzanne tuning in. Thanks so much for watching. Thanks so much for tuning in, trusting me here early on this Sunday morning. Going to be closer to the afternoon, Roy, when we get this stuff in North Central Florida. It would probably not be in the morning hours out further toward the east, but right now it is here occurring in the morning hours west of Tallahassee. Again, seeing some stuff here that looks a little bit stronger now, just northeast of Bluntstown. We'll watch it, not much of a pulse up, but it's in northern Liberty County. So I'll watch that there. You can see around Colquitt, again, some wind energy there. This warning up to the north goes until 9 o'clock. So, talking about areas there of Miller, southwestern Mitchell, western Baker, southern Hurley, and northeastern Seminole counties. Some damaging winds possible. There's a tornado possible tag in there as well. This warning down here goes to 9:45 for areas in our area of Wakulla, Gadsden, western Wakulla, then over toward Liberty, southwestern Leon, and Franklin County. They know they just updated the warning in Georgia. They now canceled out Seminole County, but they're going to continue it into Baker, Early, Miller, and Mitchell counties here at this present point in time. So we'll see that. Probably got an update here momentarily. You kind of get an idea of that being trimmed back a little bit here as the progression of the storm axis is there. You can see what I'm talking about now. So it looks like at about 8:22, a severe thunderstorm is looking at over Colquitt, moving east about 30 miles an hour. Colquitt, Damascus, Babcock, Milford, Hopeful, Crestview here in Georgia. Hogarth Mill area, if I'm pronouncing that right. Boynton, Hawkinstown, Memsville, Harmony Church Road / Highway 45, Old Damascus, Jeterville, Cooktown, Elmo Dale, WMA, as well as Bethany. You have Bellevue there, Patmos as well, or Patmos, depending on how you pronounce that one. So again, just continuing to give you guys the very latest. So trying to give you guys the very latest on what's happening here this morning. Again, so the thunderstorm warning, that looks a little bit stronger there, but sometimes it's the angle on the Doppler that kind of can affect this here just a bit. So, okay, we've got a tornado warning now. Okay, it's probably this area right in here. Okay, so being told a 24 severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located 9 miles southwest of Greensboro here in Florida, or 10 miles northeast of Bluntstown, moving northeast about 30. So I know he started off with thunderstorm warning in Georgia, then got one in Florida, now tornado warning in Florida. Just double check that. So Gadsden and Liberty, possible tornado 9 miles southwest of Greensboro here. 9 miles southwest of Greensboro, so that would be it. That'd be it here. Let's do any debris popping up. Don't see anything definitively, but there is rotation there around State Road 12. So again, a tornado warning has just been issued. Again, it's moving northeast at 30 miles an hour. There's your red box on the screen now. You see that box officially there. It's the southwest of Interstate 10. Again, you can see here some of these really echoes here on some of our different modes as they go between them. And then really focusing on velocity. You see some stronger winds there around State Road 12. And then you have the green, the winds going toward the radar in Tallahassee. The red winds going away. There's enough of a spin here for a possible tornado as this moves from Liberty into Gadsden County. So again, that's why we've had a tornado warning here issued this morning now for parts of the covered area. And we've had that tornado watch here in play get expanded in time and space, but now a tornado warning. We had one way earlier in the night, going back in that really a wee hour type of period. But now in the morning when folks are getting ready for maybe church or Sunday school, something like that, we do have a possible tornado developing here. I know some of these have got debris signatures real quick after getting a warning with them today, so we have to just make sure it doesn't do it like that. So let's just keep checking debris tracker. Again, a possible tornado in this area. We'll zoom back out. So it looks like 824 severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado is located 9 miles southwest of Greensboro or 10 miles northeast of Bluntstown, moving northeast at 30 miles an hour. Western Gadsden and north central Liberty counties in the Big Bend of Florida are included, and this dangerous storm will be near the community of Greensboro here in Florida around 8:35 this morning. Yeah, Rock Bluff, Hardaway, Gretna, Juniper, Sycamore, Mount Pleasant, Wetumpka, Sawdust, and Roy under this. The community there of Roy, one of those included here in the Big Bend of Florida this morning. I know we're just going to keep looking at things, keep tracking them here, keep trying to give you everything you need to know to protect you, your friends, and your family. I know, take cover now. Move to an interior on the lowest floor of sturdy building. Avoid windows. If you're outdoors in a mobile home or in a vehicle, move to the closest substantial shelter and protect yourself from flying debris. So again, a tornado warning in play in parts of the area this morning until 9:15. It can always get dropped early, but right now it's in play for a pretty long period of time. And there's your spin again. The wind's going toward the radar in Tallahassee. Red wind's going away from it. So again, that's kind of storyline there right now. Let's check our thunderstorm warning in Georgia right there. You don't see as much maybe wind energy, but this right here is a tornado warning, so it is of the utmost importance. You take this seriously. There's enough of a wrap up here, enough of a wrap up as you're looking at things that we have to be mindful. You can get something at any point here. Nothing really clear in terms of debris right now, but that could change at any moment here in northern Liberty County. This gets into toward Gadsden County. We just have to be really careful here as the situation does progress on us. Have to be really careful as the situation does evolve as this moves out toward the northeast about 30 miles an hour. So I know we have this whole line where we have to see the thunderstorm warning in play. That means we have to just be really careful for damage and winds up and down this line. Those are not out of the question, but the focal point of concern seems to be up here for both maybe wind damage, but the tornado threat as well. So again, going to be maybe kind of moving across here to some degree or near State Road 12 here over the next little bit. as it kind of will be just here moving off toward the north and the east. So again, not the tightest circulation in terms of really just strong winds they've ever seen. It's just a situation though where we've already had history of some confirmed tornadoes earlier on the rate trackers, not taking quite as strong of winds to get these weak spin ups here. Probably more like EF0, EF1s compared to what we were seeing up in Tennessee yesterday when we had EF3 plus tornadoes, it would seem, which are very significant here. But as you're looking at things on our EF scale, but looking at this right now, these winds, I mean, you're only seeing winds of like 20, 30 each way, so probably a really lower end type tornado. We're not seeing the bright color like we generally do, indicative of stronger winds, like an EF0, EF1 type situation here. If we had something on the ground, still can be problematic, especially for those in mobile homes, though. And I see Hosford on here, and we had that tornado go through that was pretty significant earlier on in the year as well. So just have to be kind of careful of the overall region that we're in with this. As I know we're also just a couple weeks out from Christmas here in the holiday season, and just have to be really kind of just hoping we don't get much damage here, if any, across our area today. We hope there's not any, but you just never know what can happen here in this type of situation. So again, just trying to give you guys the very latest here. It's all about protecting you, your friends, your family. I know this isn't the tightest circulation we've ever seen, but they're trying to err on the side of caution here. Again, you kind of have a little bit of a push maybe of this out ahead as you're looking versus back up here. So that could be playing a role to some degree. Definitely could be playing a role here in this type of threat. Again, let's just keep watching this here. You can kind of see that surge of wind to some degree. I know we started this stream talking about Georgia. There still is a severe thunderstorm warning up there, but our focus is shifted to a tornado warning down toward the south. We have those precautions up in the corner of the screen. Part of Gadsden, part of Liberty counties here involved until about 9:15 officially with this tornado warning. Again, we'll see if they drop it early. It's not looking really impressive, but I definitely could get a weak spin up. It's always our policy to be on when there's a tornado warning storm moving through our 62 counties. So that's what we're doing here right now. Again, trying to give you guys the very latest on what is going on. So again, let's go ahead and zoom back out. Again, you see Tallahassee later on in the timeline. We'll be getting some storm action headed that way. Or folks studying for final exams at FSU, for instance. So good luck there, but kind of a distraction here to some degree. And definitely could be kind of hazardous for folks. At least it's not maybe right on the exam day. But so if you've been kind of studying progressively, maybe you'll be okay there. With this being a little bit problematic here early on, or folks might have stayed up late last night and kind of sleep through some of this there as they're getting ready for those big exams, whether they're tomorrow or the next day or later on the week. And then for some folks, fall graduation. I know the numbers aren't as high as you would have for spring graduation, but still that's something that some folks will be having there and enjoying here hopefully later on in the week. So again, just continuing to give you guys the very latest. You can see here what we're talking about on the screen. Some greens and reds here. That's what we're dealing with. Possible tornado circulation showing up here right now north of, it looks like State Road 12. I see we have a flood advisory now, including parts of Liberty County at 9:30 Central Time. Also, it's further off toward the west, and it's moving pretty slow and definitely quite a bit of rain. Some of the areas are back out here 2-3 inches in the last hour. So that's a good amount of rain here. Some of these areas adding up to over 3, closer to 4 inches. And it looks like that circulation starting to maybe just get a little bit stronger than that latest scan. Not by much, but maybe just slightly. I mean, it's really almost steady state, but not really weakening here compared to the recent scans. So that's something they have to be mindful of here. Parts of the Big Bend region this morning. Again, a tornado warning for parts of Gadsden and Liberty counties until 9:15. It's all about protecting you, your friends, and your family here. Just trying to give you guys the very latest on exactly what is happening as the situation does transpire. I know we're live on Facebook, on Twitter, on YouTube, Twitch here, trying to let you guys know what's happening. And we do again have a situation where we need to take those tornado safety tips here. As this possible tornado moves up toward Greensboro in Florida here, the Florida Big Bend region. And you can see here, it's not getting debris, which is good still. Check CDR for upscale growth. Not seeing that, but it's a different type of pattern to some degree, so that might not show up as well. Not necessarily a pattern, I know. Just for instance, I was getting a question that I saw after the fact yesterday, but question about these triangles here. Those indicate some hail potential, but we're not really in a pattern that's too favorable for that today. So that's some good news here as we're looking at the overall grand scheme of things. I know this could get messier and messier, and that could start to limit the threat. That's why we have a marginal risk further off toward the east here. Maybe we'll get some more stabilized conditions. Right now, things are definitely more active, more robust here as we continue to watch, continue to track the overall scenario. Again, we're watching it here in the weather center. Again, the severe thunderstorm warning don't look that impressive in and of itself, but this tornado warning, even there, is not really impressive with that. If we had damage from whether a straight line winds or a tornado or a downburst, maybe it'd be right in here probably. Because our severe thunderstorm warning in the north doesn't look that impressive. They might not even let this really stay on the board all the way to 9 o'clock here. That's what we started off for. Now this line here looks good on reflectivity, but really when you go into the wind mode, it's really mainly about that one area here that'll eventually be approaching I-10. I know folks maybe with travel plans and the like. This could be problematic as you're looking up that way. Depending on how this holds together, we may try to look for a traffic camera up there in the next little bit. It's a little early still probably for that. Might be kind of hard to see some stuff with the rain out ahead even. But I see they just gone ahead and said they're going to cancel and have canceled that severe thunderstorm warning for Baker, Early, Miller, Mitchell counties in Georgia. That's what we came on for here just a little while ago. That weakened out. That's good news. But we have this complex down here. Severe thunderstorm warning. If we just had that, I might wrap it up for now because there's not a lot with this severe thunderstorm warning accent outside the red box. But within that red box, we have wind / tornado potential will require. We have to be on when there's a tornado warning storm within our 62 counties. So again, that's what we're dealing with right now near the interstate I-10. It's not really tight, but again, we're seeing winds about 25 one way, 30 the other way. Again, that's probably an EF0 type tornado if we had something. It doesn't look really impressive, but we're pretty close on the radar. So it's just about the history of some of these. If we had tornado debris signatures, weaker ones out to the west earlier, without having too much on radar in terms of circulations even. So that's what kind of makes everybody a little bit more nervous per se, a little bit of a heightened sense of awareness being needed here in this type of setup. Erring on the side of caution issuing these warnings here maybe a little bit more often. Don't see a lot on rotation tracker now. I had maybe a little more earlier on some of this. I know even up to the north we had some of that earlier on. Again, the tornado watch since we came on here got expanded both in space and time. Areas there that were already under it expanded to 11. I know some of them get trimmed back before then, but then the areas to the east here that weren't under it got issued into it till 11 o'clock. So just to kind of clarify all that, it goes all the way out toward areas there like Tifton there, Moultrie, Thomasville, Monticello within the region. So again, you see the temperature to know in the 60s today. At this time where tomorrow when you're starting off your day, some areas will be in the 30s. That's how big of a contrast we have. The cooler air, dry air coming in from the northwest there. You can kind of see there the overall arrows telling that story, and you see the numbers. We have this right here kind of bringing that moisture, those higher dew point values, the winds from the south here. And that's what is fueling this. Starting to get a tornado warning. And boy, we had that thunderstorm warning we came on for earlier on to the north. Well, that's been dropped. But since then, we've had a tornado warning and thunderstorm warning issued here for parts of the Florida Big Bend. They just updated the thunderstorm, the severe thunderstorm warning. Let's go ahead and give you guys the latest there. Again, could be something where we have this ultimately getting toward Tallahassee, downtown toward FSU, FAMU, and TCC. That's still a little ways away, but They have upped the movement a little bit on this. That makes sense, from 15 to 20 miles an hour. Severe thunderstorm warning remained in effect in the yellow part of this until about 9:45 this morning for western McCulloch, Gadsden, Liberty, southwestern Leon, and Franklin counties. So again, we're just gonna keep on checking here, keep on tracking. I know it's 8:38. Severe thunderstorm is located along the line extending from 6 miles northeast of Chattahoochee to 17 miles south of Port St. Joe, going east at 20 miles an hour. Tallahassee, Carabel, East Point, Apalachicola, Quincy, Havana, Midway, St. George Island. At least some of the parts within these areas. I know there's part of Tallahassee under this, but then we have Port St. Joe, Mexico Beach, Stonemill Creek, Chattahoochee, Greensboro, Orange, even over Franklin. We were Hitchcock, Gretna, Bristol, Choppy, and Rock Bluff. I know we just got up there in the tornado warning, by the way, so let's go ahead and read you that. You see that update, and they've trimmed out Liberty County. They've canceled Liberty County here, but keeping Gadsden at 8:39. It's a thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was looking over Greensboro, or 10 miles west of Quincy, moving east at 30 miles an hour. So this tornado, at least possible tornado, is dangerous. Still will be near Greensboro at 8:45 a.m. So just about 3-4 minutes away. Juniper, Sawdust, and Gretna also under this. So make sure you take shelter. Nothing's been confirmed with this here at this point, but you can't let your guard down as we just continue to give you guys the very latest to protect you, your friends, and your family. Again, it doesn't look all that strong here. I know the warning going to 9:15. I feel like this warning will have to be either just canceled out or extended before then, to be quite honest, because of that movement here would kind of get it out of that polygon here in maybe a little bit quicker order, but no debris showing up. That's a good storyline there right now, but a possible tornado as we're looking there south of Greensboro. So that's in the Big Bend. I know. Let's give you guys an update here on another view if we can. Let me go ahead and go to another broad perspective right now. Again, let me go ahead and jump on over here. You don't see anything toward like Stark Gainesville, but we will have that opportunity to maybe destabilize some. We'll have to wait and see. I know you see the clouds here as I kind of put those on. A lot of quarter cloud tops. Maybe we'll kind of get things to kind of be a little bit more messy here. Maybe harder to get more stuff to develop, but instability is there out toward the west enough in this type of setup. This time of year you don't get a lot and you have more but rotational parameters, and there's enough of a really overlap here to cause some problems. So I know it still might be a little early to get a lot on the visible satellite, but let me go ahead and kind of try to pull that up. You can kind of start to see we had to brace in the cloud up toward the east to some degree at least, and that could be an issue here. I know, just have to be careful. That could kind of help you stabilize things and increase the instability values off to the east, but it depends on how things are kind of set up. But yeah, definitely have to be careful. I know some of our tornadoes in Bradford County, for instance, have been in the month of December in these marginal risk type days. So you can't let your guard down. I guess the last two probably would have been there going back 2021 in December and then 2020 on Christmas Eve night. Marginal risk type situations here, so definitely have to be on guard here around Bradford County later on. Don't let your guard down everywhere in our 62 counties, including where we have the active tornado warning. And the tornado risk rate is up that way, but you have a wind risk here down in the south. It doesn't matter exactly. There's no forward tornado risk, though. Even down south doesn't mean we wouldn't get a quick spin up. So be on guard here. Be on guard. I know, honestly, this looks pretty broad in nature, which is good news. Not even sure if it's really worth pulling a traffic camera stuff up for on this mode. I might go ahead and check my other source. It'd probably rain wrapped in here, so probably see some heavy rain. I'll just check my other source. If there's something really dramatic, we can take it over here. But there is some weak rotation, enough for this tornado warning. Let me just go ahead and check here, though. So we're looking around Greensboro. See what traffic cameras are available here. Looks like there's some rain, wet roads and the like here this morning. You don't really have any shots so far actually pointing to the sky too much. Yeah, just a typical wet road pattern. So just slow down on the road, some slick conditions here. Again, just have to be really cognizant of what we're dealing with here. That looks really broad. I honestly think they might drop this here soon. And this leads to a thunderstorm warning with a tornado possible today. That looks really broad and weak. Don't let your guard down. And just on cue. Wow, that was good timing. Okay, they're going to go ahead and cancel the tornado warning now. So, but severe thunderstorm warning for now, at least I would think, would stay. Just based on guessing here in this type of situation. Again, we're just going to keep looking here at what's going on. So, okay, let me get rid of our tornado safety tips then, since they dropped this. They've just dropped this tornado warning, but it's a thunderstorm warning still in effect here. Again, that looks quite a bit weaker in that latest scan, which is good news. There's some weak rotation, but it does not look that impressive. We were kind of already on the edge of really whether we needed one, and the colors here got even less bright. I mean, we're only seeing winds at 25 one way and maybe 20 the other way. That's only winds about 45 miles an hour here, so that's some good news. Let's go ahead and pull up our thunderstorm warning tips right now. Again, this could get extended in Tallahassee. Honestly, at this moment, as I kind of switch things around a little bit, I would lean against it, but they may just do it. Just if we get one little pulse up, they would probably do it. I mean, the winds don't look that strong of velocity here, but the reflectivity as they go back to that's pretty impressive. I know we saw some of this in the modeling, though. Maybe even if the threat there starts to dwindle down some, you could have some heavier downpours here and the like, and gustier winds, frequent lightning here, for instance. So I just got to be careful in that regard. Got to be careful here in that regard this morning. Again, you see I-10 there. Some of the areas being impacted. I'm just going to keep looking here. And you have winds further back, but that's not necessarily with the apparent thunderstorm activity. You had that more in just the overall pattern. I know back on this radar, it looks a little bit brighter, a little bit stronger. That's about 5,000-6,000 feet up, though, and then this one would be definitely closer to Tallahassee view. Wouldn't be cutting through as much. And right now, I mean, it looks like we're only seeing winds here at 20, 30 miles an hour. I mean, again, maybe a gust to 50 in here, I'll say, at this point. Maybe a gust to 50. As we keep on looking here, keep on tracking, keep on watching. You see some lower gust numbers here so far this morning. Again, right now, as I said, a thunderstorm warning though versus a tornado warning. Again, still be careful. I know we have this warning all the way down to the coast, so you even have to watch some of the stuff from Port St. Joe and over toward Franklin County in case that's a little bit more robust. I'll check this angle down here. And you have a little bit of weak rotation down in that area, so we'll watch again. There's some rotation down here, but angle on the radar probably isn't really the best on that. Again, you're just watching Tallahassee here very closely. Watching the Tallahassee area very closely. And just make sure you're really inside here if you can, since we have that lightning around there, very heavy rain. I know we had all that rain last week. Could start to have some flooding a little bit quicker than based on all that rain we got last week. But some areas, I mean, just depends on where you're at within the region. I mean, some areas still in a situation here where rain couldn't really maybe hurt here if it came over a long enough period of time. So just keep that in mind as we're looking at things here this morning. I know just checking some of our different outlooks here. I know we're kind of in that pattern here with some above average precip possibility. I know there's some areas still in that drought, southwest Georgia and the like. I know that says up here on our drought monitor. So again, just continuing to check here, continuing to monitor this latest look at things. This one's about 25 again, and then maybe 25 the other way, so maybe just slightly stronger, but not by much. Yeah, okay, I think that the winds, at least in the one direction, not really rotationally, but in the one direction, just a tad stronger there, just south of Greensboro. I mean, I get a pixel to 30, but those aren't really coming together, so they might not be terribly high. I see 53 in there, though. I do see 53 miles an hour. So I'm going to set it up toward Quincy here. Over the next little bit. That's a little bit of really weak rotation just north of Quincy. So on up here on the Doppler, we'll watch that here to see how that evolves and develops here. Again, I'm just trying to give you guys the very latest here on what we're dealing with. I know it's all about protecting you, all about protecting your friends, all about protecting your family. Let me just keep looking here what we have. I know, again, this storm winds to about 50, maybe almost 55 now, just in that one direction. That's definitely picked up because it was only more like 40 or maybe 50, but now we're seeing these brighter colors closer to 55 miles an hour. A little bit closer to just severe, just straight line. Again, tornado warning got dropped, which is good. But again, we're just going to have to keep tracking things here as the situation does evolve, as the situation does develop on us. Again, trying to let you guys know what we're dealing with. Latest scans coming on in. It's all about protecting you, all about protecting your friends, all about protecting your family. Just bear with me as I for the latest information. I'm just going to keep looking. Again, we have some brighter colors here on velocity. These are winds again. That way it could, I guess, in theory, knock a tree down here on I-10 just east of Greensboro. Tree limbs maybe a little more likely, so just be careful here. And this is moving up toward Quincy over the next little bit. Kind of messy in here, so I may look at some of our traffic cameras behind the scenes again. I don't know if we need to really take them full or anything, but I'll go ahead and just pull them up in case there's something really dramatic. Then we can jump over to it real quick. But just east of Greensboro is where we want to get with this. So along the interstate in that vicinity. I'm going to go ahead and look here. This looks like a rainy pattern right on some of these, but I mean, there could be some wind still popping on up. I know we're just kind of looking at things here. Wanting you guys to be careful as we look at some of our different information that comes on in. As we go ahead and keep looking here. Latest scan has the winds just a tad lower. We'll just keep watching, keep tracking. I'm looking at our model here behind the scenes. I'm going to go ahead and go to the broad view though on the radar right now. Again, just trying to let you guys know what we're dealing with here. It's all about keeping you guys safe and informed. You know, some of our models are just moving kind of slower on Tallahassee. I would think that would weaken it out some, but maybe getting a little bit of a flooding threat. I don't know if it'd be huge. I kind of doubt it would be to the level we had last Saturday, but especially with the rainfall amounts. But on at least HRRR, the HRRR model, as we're looking here, in the timeline around noon, it has this just east of Tallahassee. That may be a little bit slow here with the movement, but we'll see. It is almost 9 a.m. now, and it didn't have this really getting over where it's dark until maybe, do the math here, we have time conversions we have to do from the modeling because I put that in Z time here, if you're familiar with that in the meteorology world. But 22Z is 5 Eastern, and it doesn't have that getting here to maybe just before that. That could shift around some, but it looks like that threat, once it gets through 6, 7 o'clock, it's to be kind of wandering down, so it could be a pretty long day still in the weather center. So some of the parameters may kind of fade a little before that, like towards dark. We'll see. I know we've had these situations before and they've overachieved. Going back December of 2021, the tornado in Bradford County, December of 2020. So can't let our guard down here. We've had a history of it. Doesn't mean it'll happen again. The history will repeat itself. But we've had those tornadoes touch down here with really not as much advance warning as we would like. So Again, we have some high resolution tools. Probably at this point, I'd say, you know, as you're looking ahead in the timeline, things sometimes look a little bit clearer here. But still, you just never know here if things sometimes can still get missed. So let's go ahead and keep looking. I know they may extend this warning to Tallahassee. It's kind of iffy here. If it was a less popular area downstream, I would say probably not, and we'd wrap it. But let's just stick with it here for now. I still see some pixels just about 50 miles an hour. Again, that's nothing to write home about by any stretch of the imagination, but still kind of a little bit of damage. They are continuing to warn it. Okay. Let's see what they're doing with this. Okay, they're continuing it for Franklin, Gadsden, Gulf, Leon, Liberty, and McCullough to 945. There's still a tornado possible tag in here as well. I know down here, this is down the line. Doesn't mean we couldn't have something in this wind pattern. It just doesn't look as likely. But up here, maybe a little bit of rotation here as you kind of look at it. Nothing really overwhelming, but wind toward Quincy. We'll watch it. We'll track it here for you. The Thunder Debris tracker, no tornado warning right now officially either, so that's the good news. But again, just continuing to monitor the situation here. Again, trying to let you guys know exactly what's happening, at least the best we can here. Again, you gotta keep looking at things. I'm just kind of zooming in and out a bit. Just bear with me. Again, I know I'm looking at some of the cameras here behind the scenes. I'm not going to pull them up unless we have something just really dramatic. But honestly, I mean, I see rain and the wet conditions. I don't see a lot of tree movement here on one of these. So, State Road 12, there I-10, mile marker 173.7 at this moment. Looks like a car might be maybe pulled over, not sure, but doesn't look like anything just over dramatic here. Overly dramatic. May just be the overall view here. Again, I know they're up in a tornado watch, just trimming out some counties there. Further back, like Clay, Quitman, and Randolph counties. Again, just going to keep checking here, keep monitoring. Again, just trying to let you guys know exactly what's going on. I pulled the other camera up, but I'm not really sure if there's anything weather related going on there. It didn't look too inclement in terms of anything, just, you know, really nasty in terms of the weather, but we'll keep watching, keep tracking. I know the brighter colors here on velocity. It says winds about 55, so that might be more indicative. There's a chance we get another warning here extended on out. Again, not out of the question here. Not out of the question. Just trying to give you guys the very latest here to protect you, protect your friends, protect your family. Just take it slow on the roads if you can here. Make sure there's lights on. Just try to navigate these conditions the best you can. Try to navigate things the best you can here. I know that pixel there showing close to 55 miles an hour. I'm just checking everything that we have here at disposal right now to protect you, protect your friends, protect your family here just south of Quincy, right along the interstate area. Toward Quincy anyway is what we're doing with some stuff. Again, thanks so much for tuning in. Thanks so much for trusting me. Let's see where else we might want to go with this over the next little bit. I know we may have put some cameras over on this source here. I've been looking at it on my other source, but again, we're just going to keep watching and keep monitoring things there as necessary as we're approaching that top of the hour right now at 9 o'clock. Again, let's just keep on staying safe out there here this morning as you're on the road. Maybe you're traveling here. It is close to the holiday season. I mean, some colleges, universities are already getting out FSU has another week in terms of those exams, though. As we're looking at things, as we're definitely monitoring. Under the south of Quincy now toward the interstate. Ooh, this camera's worth showing. So let's go ahead and go here now. This is one a little bit further east. Yeah, we need to take this full. If we can, we need to take this full here as soon as we can. Let me go ahead and go on over here. So you can definitely see the low visibility, some of those leaves flying around, and the like. So again, severe thunderstorm warning here. Employment. The winds aren't really extreme, but definitely that reduced visibility, telling the story on that Florida 5-1 perspective. This is there west of Oak Creek, I-10 mile marker 179.1 eastbound, and then northeast would appear to be the view here right now, it would seem, based on the directional information that we're getting. So yeah, I know, ignore that date up there at the top running the time, but this is live. This is live here. I must have had a power issue or something. Even the last few seconds, it seems like maybe the visibility's gotten a little bit better here. So kind of interesting to see. But definitely some nasty conditions here this morning. Let's go ahead and swap this out for now. We just got a new warning. Used to be a thunderstorm warning downstream. So let's kind of let you guys know what we're talking about there. That's going to pop up in just a second here on the map. So it's till 10:30 when it's going to show up here. That's the expiration for the new box. It's about to show on up here on the screen. Parts, there you go, of the metro now. So we have Franklin, Gaston, Leon, Liberty, and McCullough till 10:30. So the thunderstorm warning with a tornado possible tag. So yeah, you got to be really careful here on Tallahassee, main FSU campus. So 9 o'clock, so the thunderstorm warning issued for McCullough County, eastern Gaston, southeastern Liberty, Leon, eastern Franklin counties until 10:30. At 9 o'clock, it's a thunderstorm. Roy, that threat located here in the Big Bend of Florida, and severe thunderstorms are located along a line extending from 7 miles northwest of Havana to 16 miles northwest of Caravel, moving east at 25 miles an hour. Tallahassee, Woodville, Caravel, Florida State University, East Point over toward Tallahassee Community College, Havana, St. Marks, Midway, Crawfordville, Florida A&M, St. George Island, Oak Campbell Stadium. They're going back to FSU, of course, as well as McCullough, Franklin, South Choppy, Lake Bradford, McCullough Springs, St. George Island State Park, and South City, all underneath the severe thunderstorm warning again until about 10:30. So we have some rotation up here. That seems to be more to the north. So, this could be something where we have to watch out for areas there. I know, getting maybe closer to Bradfordville, Muskogee, or Miccosukee, I should say. I know that's the correct pronunciation on that, I believe. Okay, so that could be a situation here where we end up having to deal with some of those winds a little bit further up there, maybe north of I-10, but still the warning includes Tallahassee and areas down south as well. Still could have some issues in the overall pattern. So, again, no active tornado warnings right now, but the thunderstorm warning with a tornado possible tag being extended out toward the east and here until about 10:30. So, it's just sitting right in the metro right now. We're going to keep the stream going, obviously. I'll be back here in a few minutes. Of course, if we get a tornado warning, we'll jump back in immediately, but gonna catch my breath here real quick here. The new warning till 10:30. Right now we're at 9:03 though. So I see a thunderstorm warning in play for the Tallahassee Metro for another almost hour and a half. We're back about 9:15 with more information. Of course, if there's tornado warning, we'll jump back in sooner than that. But otherwise, 9:15 with another update here from the Weather Center. So just keep it tuned to Cloud Weather. Back in about 11 minutes, unless we need to jump back in sooner with more information.
This is a Clouds weather alert.
Meteorologist Casey Cloud back here with us at 9:15 on this Sunday morning, and now have quite a bit of lightning here on the radar, heavy downpours and severe thunderstorm warnings here in play. So definitely something to keep our eyes on. No tornado warnings at this point. We had one a little while ago to report to Gadsden and Liberty counties. I know there could be some damage in wind accident here. As we look at some of the velocity modes here, that indicates the wind potential a little bit better. If we had some of that, I think it'd be in this area that's surging ahead a little bit here into toward Gadsden County. In fact, that pixel right there shows winds there a little bit stronger, just northeast of Midway, looking pretty close to the ground level, but it could be a little bit of a distortion here. I know velocity, though, is out ahead of the actual reflectivity at the moment, so it's this area that kind of bows out, though, too. It's more back even here now, but that's where we would have the stronger wind potential, it would seem like here. Back here, it could also be a little bit of a distortion here just on radar, but it would make sense that this area here is probably the strongest. It'll be kind of surging out has tried to surge out here in the overall pattern. So again, just trying to give you guys the very latest information. Let's go ahead and keep tracking things here. Again, I know folks set it out maybe to church here a little bit early for Sunday school and the like being impacted. Just be really careful, folks. I mean, at FSU even headed out to study here for those final exams, even maybe at the library, something like that here very early on the Sunday morning. It's a situation, I guess, if you want to get to the library there on campus, we're already starting to get on the leading edge of this, but Roy, if you want to go, probably need to go right now if you're like right there and just want to go over there. I mean, that might just be the time to do it. Don't delay because it's gonna be pretty nasty for the next couple of hours here. I would say as we look toward Tallahassee, give or take. So you don't have a lot of time to do that if you're gonna go ahead and head on out. I know Crawfordville there toward parts of McCulloch County. I know they're seeing this potential starting to move their way as well. So again, I know it's Thursday morning effective 10:30 out to the east. That includes FSU, FAMU, TCC, and the like. So again, a nasty situation here this morning for sure. We're just going to keep giving you guys the latest updates on exactly what's happening. Again, let's go ahead here, pull up the precautions. I know they can be really helpful in these type of situations. It's even by the way, as I see the thunderstorm warnings, every thunderstorm warning precautions when thunder roars go indoors. 6, 7 times 30 bud and get as many walls roll away between you and the outside. Just stay away from windows. But also have a flood advisory now for parts of Gadsden, Liberty, and then Decatur County, Georgia to 11:15 within our viewing area because some of that rain really causing some issues, the ponding the water on the roadways and the like. I know definitely watching that here. Definitely tracking that. This here looks like it may get a warning soon. Let's see. That's south of Adapogus. Yeah, I don't like seeing that. It's not showing up as much on base, though, as the storm relative, and it just popped up, so they may give it a scan or two to see if it sustains itself here. But definitely seeing some stronger wind. I'm moving up toward, it looks like US 27 there in southern, I was going to say southeastern, southern, whatever you want to say, Decatur County there. So just be kind of cognizant of that. I know, just trying to effort all the latest information here in the grand scheme of things. Trying to let you guys know what's happening. I know even some lightning out ahead a little, so just gotta be really careful whenever thunder roars go indoors here. Just continuing to watch this evolve. I know it could have some flash flooding possible according to the Weather Service in Tallahassee. I know we have some significant advisories, by the way, just for the storminess in Georgia. Some weak wind enhancement out that way, including some of that south of Albany. We'll keep watching it. We had a tornado watch till 11 a.m. this morning, by the way, here in Twyford area in yellow. Under the radar, kind of covered that up some. So let me take this off for a moment. You can kind of see what we're talking about here. And that's that broader yellow swath is where we could have tornado threat here. That broader yellow swath where tornadic conditions may be favorable and close to that zone here. So again, we'll keep checking. We'll keep giving you guys the very latest here on what's going on. Let me go ahead and kind of jump around just a little bit more. Let me go ahead and jump around here a little bit more right now. Again, you see some lightning there out there just northwest of Crawfordville right now. The wind mode doesn't look really impressive, but there is definitely some wind energy in here. It could be a little bit stronger than what it's showing. So got to keep that in mind. I know we're just going to keep everything in mind. Again, looking up here, that's actually showing winds now. At least on still relative mode, not showing on base mode. So that could be a limiting factor a little bit here if it's just one direction. But it's showing about 60 there just in the southern Decatur County now. But base velocity is not as aggressive with it. It's showing more winds about 50 in the straight line fast. And so we'll keep watching. We'll keep tracking here. Definitely intriguing. It's how it works. Unfortunately, sometimes you see a big warning and sometimes stuff still wants to kind of strengthen. It's that side of it there. So again, we'll just keep looking at it. Keep checking things here. Keep giving you guys the very latest to protect you, your friends, and your family. So again, that's what it's all about here at Cloud Weather, protecting you, your friends, and your family. Again, let me see what else I might have here at this point in time. We're just trying to stick with you guys here. Just stick with you guys the best we can. Everything going on. Just stay safe there. There's slick roads for sure. Let me go ahead and see where we want to go with this here at this point. Again, just a one-man band as we alluded to here yesterday, for instance. So, again, just going to keep tracking here what's going on. May look toward the interstate there around Midway. I know some of the worst is maybe a little north, as we've alluded to, but don't have any cameras, I don't think, up that way. So, maybe a limiting factor on that. But maybe just east of Midway into toward parts of Leon County here. Maybe we could get a view up. That could be kind of helpful to the viewers at home here as the situation does evolve, does progress on us here this morning. So just around Midway maybe. Just to the east maybe. Ocklackney area. Okay, this could be a pretty interesting shot, I think. And then we go ahead and pull that up. Take the traffic system now. There you go. I'll go ahead and take the precautions off for a moment. Remind you guys that we're looking here. We're looking here at that Florida 511 perspective. Definitely a slow go on the road here this morning. Mile marker 193 there, I-10, the Ocklackney River area. So just take it slow. Stay safe out there. Be very careful. Use extra caution. Have those lights on, obviously. Those windshield wipers on and the like. As we go ahead and just move away from that there for the moment. Again, just continuing to track here the overall storyline. I'm going to check for some more camera shots here at this point. At this point in time. See, maybe just ahead of that a little bit. You know, just ahead, sometimes the shots look a little bit different depending on the angles and just how the movement of everything is. So let's go ahead and pop this up here. This is another Florida 511 perspective. So again, just gonna keep looking here at things, gonna keep monitoring the situation. Again, just trying to let you guys know what we're doing with here at Slick Road. So be careful now, especially when you first get the range. For some of us further off toward the east, haven't got much, if any, yet. Those oils here could cause the road to be kind of slick, so be very careful as we're looking at things here in the situation. Just to use extra caution here as we're looking at things. Just definitely want to be extra careful here. We're just going to try to give you guys the very latest. I'm just efforting all the latest details that I can here. Again, severe thunderstorm warning, they're remaining in effect. I'm just going to keep looking here. Definitely a slow go of it on the roads there. Looking closer to exit 199, not quite there. You can definitely see some more slick roads. Let me go ahead and see if I can pull up some of our other shots here. It's kind of intriguing here in general. Let's go ahead and pull this one up if we can. We'll take it full. You want to see what I'm talking about there? Near about 200, mile marker 200. Again, telling that story. Definitely some nasty conditions. Just be very careful out there, obviously, in this type of situation. Just make sure you're going slow. As we have this severe thunderstorm warning that's in effect right now for the Tallahassee area. Let's go ahead and move away from this camera shot. Again, trying to let you guys see exactly what's going on, kind of a window to the world here per se this morning in this overall setup. I know it's really helpful for some of you probably, and some of the stuff near Lake Ella, that's pretty nasty. Let's go to mile marker 197. This kind of tells the story. Again, some of these shots make it look worse or not as bad as it actually is. Probably something a little bit less than what this is showing here. Not quite as crazy as this looks, but some of the shots have not been quite as dramatic here. Really, or even near as dramatic, and maybe it's something kind of in between. So, again, just gonna keep looking at things here. Keep monitoring the situation. And just warning you guys, stay safe, stay off the roads if you can, obviously, here. And we're looking here near mile marker 197. Let me go ahead and jump away from that for now. No, we don't have cameras right in town necessarily on areas, the FSU campus or anything that we can take here in the traffic system, but definitely be careful. I see some wind enhancement. I may be getting close to needing a tornado warning there. I don't know. It's kind of, if anything, it's definitely showing some wind enhancement. Let's just say that in terms of straight line wind. Very close off the ground here, only about 800, 900 feet now. We're seeing some stronger winds east of Havana and moving up here and maybe eventually crossing US 319 north of Bradfordville possibly. Definitely seeing some winds closer to 60 here. Just only less than 1,000 feet off the surface. I know we still have some wind enhancement up here. No warning up there, but this right here is what catches my eye. So just got to be really careful here. Just got to be really mindful of what we're dealing with. Just whenever the situation requires, really want to be inside, and even in some cases, really just away from those windows, because you can have tree limbs and the light coming through in some of these overall situations. So, again, about 9:30 right now. Again, that's moving from Gadsden into Leon County there. We have that weak circulation, I would say, or at least some wind enhancement. So, again, this is something to kind of bear in mind. Something to bear in mind here. We're going to go ahead and go back up there. I know, just continuing to track. Continuing to give you guys the very latest. I know, it's just a one-man band, so that's why kind of a situation here where we're not talking all the time. I know it was just tragic though yesterday to see that tornadic accident in Tennessee come together in the worst possible way. Not expecting a threat like that around here, but still that low-end tornado threat is there. We have that tornado watch here in play until 11. o'clock, so just definitely have to be kind of mindful of that here. We'll just have to be mindful of that here in this type of scenario, in this type of situation. Again, let's just keep on. I'll keep on going between some other modes here. You can see, seeing that wind there, moving from Gadsden into Leon County. Definitely a little enhancement. We have some lighting right near the campus there of FSU and the airport area, just kind of in general here at this point. You see some right near the radar, and then you see this one strike here. That's not too far away from FSU. There's Doak Campbell Stadium. If we had a game going on, it'd be in a delay right now, but we don't. Not this time of day, not this time of year. I mean, not a football game anyway. I mean, as we go ahead and keep on going here, not this day of the year really either, not a Sunday, but not toward the home stadium. But again, just going to keep watching, keep tracking here. Again, you see some wind back out there to the west. We're just going to keep looking at this. I know definitely some windy conditions here in spots. Could have some damaging winds here. That's why we have this warning. That's what we're on for the time being. Again, east northeast of Havana there. Seeing some wind enhancement and more up here, but maybe not. I mean, at least maybe in the Weather Service's eyes, it's not quite there for severe thunderstorm warning yet. We'll see though. Could be an issue for Thomasville later on if it gets that far up there. Kind of holds together, not out of the question. Could be something to watch. Again, just trying to let you guys know here what we're doing. We're still going to be several hours out for areas further off toward the east. Again, I know we started this stream talking about that situation in Georgia. That is a weekend off, that area there, but some other areas we're still watching, and some of that could get back into Georgia that it's alluding to. And you see a gust there, about tropical storm force now, as we're looking toward the coast or Apalachicola. So 39 miles an hour, give or take there, based on our latest reading here in the system. So that's something to kind of take note of there. Not severe, but still, it's within that warning as well. We haven't focused maybe as much, but there's quite a bit of lighting here. Over North Crawford, some of those electrical appliances here, in theory, could have some issues if we get some power surges or actual lightning hits there. Just got to be careful. I know it looked like more of a straight line pattern down there, just based on the radar angle, though. So I guess that's some good news at least. I know one other thing that's be kind of interesting to know is once we get to through Tallahassee, I think we'll have a better idea of exactly how strong things are with this. I mean, if we get some enhancements up to issue, but if we don't have enhancements, we don't have maybe much of any damage or wind reports, and maybe they won't have to issue as many warnings down the line here, but there's a lot of different sensors here in that area. I know I'm not seeing too many power outages in Florida right now, according to PowerOutage.us, but over 45,000 remain without power in the state of Tennessee here this morning. As we go ahead and check things, I want to just check Florida. Some of these maps here, some of these power outage maps. I know Liberty County, 84 customers in the dark right now, according to PowerOutage.us. So that's kind of the storyline there. Some very heavy rains headed right toward the airport here, right toward the FSU campus. Not safe to be out there at this point with it lightning around or thunder roars. Go indoors. You definitely won't be caught without shelter here, folks. Again, there's downtown Tallahassee, and you can see there's the stadium right there. And we have lighting very close. I mean, may not even be in the perfect spot here in terms of the radar. So, could have a real problem there on FSU this morning. Don't want anybody struck by lightning, obviously, or anything struck by lightning. So whenever thunder roars, you need to go indoors here in that area. Again, same goes for TCC and FAMU, obviously, here in these type of situations. So, again, I know looking at things here, just kind of checking some different information. Trying to give you guys the very latest here. I'm just going to go ahead and look here. some of the latest details coming on in. They give them to severe thunderstorm warning and play. So 10:30 further to the east, 9:45 further west. They're like around Midway and the like. So just for some perspective there with that. I know that I'm looking. It looks like TCC's already gone ahead and they've had their semester. Maybe let me double check here. I don't want to say this wrong. Yeah, they had their exams. It looks like. So that's something to kind of take note of here. I'm trying to read their schedule real quick. So that's kind of interesting storyline. So again, that means we wouldn't have the students around maybe over there as much. That's a little bit of good news. Let's check FAMU. Again, FSU still has exams this week though, coming on up, so not really anybody probably out of there. Exams are at FAMU this week, so FAMU and FSU both have exams, so a lot of students in town are really studying hard and maybe not thinking about the weather, so I hope you guys are thinking about this here this morning. Hope you're paying attention to some degree right now. It's a very heavy rain on campus. I know it gets distorted here because the radar is a cone of silence per se. Let me pull this in a different mode for a moment. I know even there it kind of distorts it some, but you kind of get the idea. Some heavy, very heavy rain here. There may be some gusty winds, some lightning as well as we kind of try to fill in the gap with a different mode for a moment at least. You know, it might overdo it a little bit on radar, but nonetheless, some heavy downpours in here. It's got to be kind of careful. I see a gust to 42 earlier, and I know we're Gulf County, but definitely could have some pretty gusty winds. Let me check the FSU weather stem sites here in terms of wind numbers. We can't really take the actual videos, but we can take the wind numbers here. So let me just get an idea, because I mean, if there's anything too noteworthy to be a local storm report here anyway. So let me just go ahead and see what we might have. Again, severe thunderstorm warning, tornado watch for Tallahassee. Okay, gust to 31 toward the stadium over the last little bit. It's been a while since we've had a severe thunderstorm warning for the FSU campus. Okay, gust to 39 now. Tropical storm force gust right now on the weather stem at FSU. And gust to 39. So be very careful. Lightning's within they're 0.2 of a mile of the stadium as well. That's very dangerous there. I mean, if any of this is clouded ground with that, and it could either be hitting a tree, a building, or even somebody here. So this is very close. I mean, it could be. I mean, that's the campus isn't even. You know, it's a situation where the campus is bigger than that. So I mean, it could be anywhere on campus, even with lightning hitting. So you gotta be really, really careful here this morning. Let me see our other units here that we can access. And the 39 at the stadium. Let me check here. We got a few others around there. I haven't done this in a while because we haven't had this type of pattern. I mean, maybe right after Dahlia or something like that. But I know there's a few different ones we can go to here potentially. 39 miles an hour was just that peak though, coming right on through 35 at the airport. So sub-severe at least on those, but still nasty and still can be dangerous. Still can catch people off guard, and there's still a chance we could have had a higher gust in there somewhere. We could have a higher gust in there somewhere. Let me go ahead and keep looking. Let me take FAMU's weather stem station. Okay, 15 miles an hour there on the gust. How about the FSU Rec Sportsplex? 28 miles an hour. FSU Lakefront Park, the Res 27 miles an hour. How about Tallahassee Community College? Okay, I don't think it's getting a wind measurement there, but it is windy to some degree, but we're not getting an actual measurement. How about the State EOC? Okay, 6 miles an hour the last check. Florida State University schools, so like FSU High School, okay, they're stationed offline there. So again, just the conditions being estimated. Again, continuing to watch here, continuing to track. Just trying to give you guys the very latest here to protect you, your friends, and your family. Again, we hope everybody has really good luck on their exams here as they're looking ahead. FAMU, FSU. I know, that's what we're talking right now. I know other areas, schools have them as well coming on up. Wishing everybody the very best here. Let me see what we have in terms of City of Tallahassee. Let me see what we have in terms of City of Tallahassee here. Power outages. Okay, very early on, only one customer out. Which, if that number holds, I'd be really surprised. I think we'd have more out than that. If we don't, well, that means it's isn't too significant and probably wouldn't get an extension of any type of warning acts. I mean, some of this could be further north. Okay, Talquin, 210 customers out on Talquin. That's what it was showing here in our system as we're trying to let you guys know exactly what's going on. That's not a huge number, but not zero. Some of that northern areas there, probably just there northwest of Midway. We have some of those numbers showing on up. So let's go and zoom back out a little bit. You have the warning down toward Crawfordville as well. I don't want to lay a guard down there around Crawfordville. You see some of this wind in here, 30, 40, 50 maybe. Right there, I need to watch a little bit of something maybe. This looks like it wants to get a little bit of a notch here on us here around Woodville. Yeah, I don't think so there's anything too crazy with that, but you never know. You never know in this type of setup, in this type of environment here. Again, there's very heavy rain right over Tallahassee. There's no breaks in this really. It's just, we have the radar right here, so it's kind of that cone of silence and it's kind of hidden. Weird, but as you see the latest scan now, really we've seen, you can tell that in some ways it is slacking up some. But that latest assessment, the very heavy rain now, this is on the east side of Tallahassee, so probably closer to the Tallahassee Mall area. As we're looking at things, in North Leon County. Again, trying to give you guys the very latest here on what's going on. Again, I'm going to keep looking at things, keep tracking them. Again, severe thunderstorm warnings are in effect. No tornado warnings right now, which is good. We had that one earlier in Gadsden County. Had the one very in the overnight hours per se, or just extremely early there in north southwest Georgia. But let me see if we have anything else. I know rain toward Central Florida be in the afternoon, but let's just keep looking here. Keep tracking again. Watching around Woodville, that may be a little bit of a notch actually. Yeah, I think that actually is something that in terms of rotation there as you look at it as a reflectivity guide into view here. I know it seems kind of interesting here, but we honestly wouldn't take, I mean, if you just barely got a funnel to the ground, even for a second, you probably get a debris signature on something like this because it's so close to the radar, only a few hundred feet up, so something to watch. That is some weak rotation probably. I don't think that's angle contamination. Because it just kind of looks sticking out a little. Nothing overwhelming right now, but again, even if we had just a quick touchdown there, we could still have some problems here on our hands, obviously. I mean, anytime you have a tornado touchdown, even for a few seconds, but I'm just saying we'd see debris and you get a quick tornado warning. That's happened before around here. That's why I say that. But again, we'll watch it. We'll track it there. Let's get a little further up. Again, sometimes it gets a little distorted in here, but seemed a little clearer further down. You can kind of tell that notch there around Woodville. I mean, there could be stuff in here that would look like that if we're at a different angle on radar, but right now it's being distorted too much to really be able to see it. So that's something to keep in mind here too. I know the interstate are getting very heavy rain there. I know toward I-10 there. Again, Interstate 10, I know we had a lot of folks in Bradford County and Tallahassee back on Friday night. I mean, there could still be folks that took a long weekend over there, I suppose, that are still there from the state championship weekend that we had there for area teams. I mean, not just Bradford, but maybe other folks decided to stick around here for the weekend. I know it's kind of nasty this morning as we go ahead and look at things. And now let's go to Thomasville Road, I-10 camera right now. Okay, let's go ahead and pull that up if we can. We'll pull that up on our other source. You better see what I'm talking about here. The nasty conditions, the slick roads here and the like. Again, so far, at least I haven't seen any damaging type of wind reports, which could indicate, I don't know how that's getting down to the surface. It could also indicate some of the worst of the winds were just north of the higher populated areas here. So that could be a storyline here as well. So, see some flashes there. Look like maybe lightning just whenever thunder roars. Go indoors. That can be deadly whether you have a severe thunderstorm, a tornado, or not. So just keep that in mind. You just can have one lightning strike, and that can and has been deadly before in the past when you have thunderstorm activity. So, again, just going to keep watching, keep tracking here. The very latest, again. Let me see what else we might have on some of these cameras. I'll go a few miles out to the east here even. Some folks with their flashers on. And the like here as we're looking at things. You can kind of see what I'm talking about here this morning. Parts of the Big Bend region. Definitely some hazardous conditions. I-10 there, 206.6 the mile marker. Just have to be kind of careful there. Just have to be really careful. Take it easy out there. Take it easy out there this morning. And the folks are going a bit slower than they normally would. It seems there on the road as they need to. Let's go ahead, jump from that. Again, just trying to give you guys the very latest. Let's go ahead and keep it on here with this coverage. I know that one warning would have went away at 9:45, by the way. But the second warning still is continuing here officially until 10:30 in the yellow box. So that's something to kind of take note of. Let's look down to the south here in Franklin County. You had that wind in Apalachicola earlier on. Some wind enhancement down here. And the winds in Crawfordville could end up getting reports later on. There does look to be some wind there. It could be trying to make its way down to the surface. It's hard to know exactly how strong it is, but part of the numbers haven't been too high so far. But we'll just have to wait and see because sometimes it takes a little bit longer outside of an area like Tallahassee. Again, this here is something to watch still. It's not really crazy. I know that's going to be behind it a little, but a little bit of an enhancement in here, 40 miles an hour just off the surface. And then in here, near in the south of it looks like Old St. Augustine Road here in Leon County. Winds there 40-45 miles an hour. Again, Muskogee, Miccosukee, I should say again. Used to always call it Muskogee, but it's Miccosukee here in Ward Leon County. You can see here winds about 50 showing up now, so that could be a little bit of an issue here. That could get us another warning if we get winds like this to keep showing up in here. Depends on if we get reports of like trees down and the like. I mean, it'd be kind of interesting to know. If we don't, then maybe they don't have to do it. But just if they keep seeing that type of pattern, and they might go ahead and extend. I'm just going to go ahead and keep checking things here. Keep monitoring. Again, it's all about protecting you. All about protecting your friends. All about protecting your family. I know. Let me just keep looking here. Everything that's going on. Just checking everything here that comes in. Again, no tornado warnings, anything like that. That's the good news here. At this point, we're just going to keep on looking. I know I have a marine warning to the south, but severe thunderstorm warning, the only warning we have over land. We do have that situation where we have the tornado possible tag and the tornado watch here in play. Haven't had an update on this warning recently. They may give us another one. Honestly, I think they might issue a new warning. I'm starting to see some strengthening on some of this stuff. So this didn't maybe look quite, maybe technically severe in a way, but east of Woodville, we're seeing some wind enhancement now around, it looks like, areas there, Old St. Augustine Road, but then this area up here, that's definitely getting stronger. That's actually showing severe now, just northwest there in Miccosukee, and they just issued a new warning. Okay, this just issued a new warning now until 11:15 up to Thomasville's way. No tornado possible tag right now, but they do have this warning here. Severe thunderstorm warning for 60-mile-an-hour winds. Jefferson County in Florida, and then Brooks, Grady, Thomas in Georgia until 11:15. So again, gotta be really careful here. Yeah, these winds are definitely picking up, it would seem. Gotta wonder if this is an area that was able to destabilize a little bit, because it seems like this is kind of picking up a little bit more rapid, a little more organization here. Maybe moving a little bit quicker than some of our model guidance was showing here as well. So that could be playing some type of role in this. Haven't seen damage reports yet so far, but again, it looks like it's kind of strengthening here on the east side and moving away from Tallahassee. So again, just have to be kind of mindful of that here. This is west of Adasta right now, west of Interstate 75. By a good ways, obviously, when you're west of even Thomasville at this point. In Grady County with some of this, I know. You see Cairo there under this warning. You see areas to the south here. Again, east of Woodville. You see some wind enhancement. Let me go ahead and read you this warning here. This warning to about 11:15. Okay, so at 9:50, severe thunderstorms are extending along a line located from near Cairo to near St. Mark's, moving northeast at 30 miles an hour. Severe thunderstorm warning for Jefferson County, the Big Bend of Florida, southeastern Grady County and southwestern Georgia, Thomas County and south central Georgia, and Brooks County and south central Georgia. So we have Monticello, Thomasville, Cairo, Quitman, Boston, Ocklawahnee, Coolidge, Barwick, even over toward Cody there, Dillon, Everett, Rocky Hill, Merrillville, Drifton, Brooks County Airport, Lake Muskogee, Miccosukee, Dixie, and then Festus here. So that's kind of the storyline at this point. I know we're being told here in the word Gulf County, we were Hitskin, so just right outside the area in some ways. There's some water over the road there. You see that little icon if you look real closely there. Just west of Liberty County, water over the road at River Road and State Road 71 there. That put a mouse on it in the Wewahiska area. So that's something to kind of keep in mind. I know we're just going to keep looking at things here. Keep tracking them. Again, just keep watching these little notches here, because sometimes that can indicate rotation potential trying to develop on us. I know we're going to be watching over Thomasville here. Severe thunderstorm warning for you guys in Thomas County until 11:15. I mean, thermal won't last that long for you guys, probably, but still, just got to be erring on the side of caution. Stay inside. Get away from those windows here. Again, just keep looking at things. Keep tracking. I know I'm checking some of our traffic systems if you're wondering what I'm doing here. Right now, just trying to see what's going on. Okay, so I see. Let's see here if we have any questions for anything here. Let's see. So I appreciate you guys tuning in here from Tallahassee or from other areas. There's somebody asking here. Cheryl's asking, anybody in the area is hit by tornadoes last night? I don't think so at this point, but again, a situation that was very tragic here for some folks in Ward, Tennessee yesterday on that Saturday. Had some threat up toward Kentucky, but more so into Ward, Tennessee there. We had just really nasty conditions around Clarksville, around areas further off toward the east as well there. Just tragic situations developing there. Okay, I think we just got a tornado warning in our area now, but I know we also had that tornado in Tennessee yesterday. that tornado in Tennessee yesterday as we were looking toward the Nashville area. That was really, really nasty in nature. As we're looking at things, that was around Hendersonville. But again, we just got a tornado warning now for parts of our area. So let me go ahead and jump on over. That information should be loading in. So, okay, so we need to get folks in the shelter. There it is. You can see the red boxes popping up. This includes Thomasville here, folks. Thomas County. So let's go ahead and pull up our tornado safety tips here now. So at about 9:54, severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located 13 miles southwest of Thomasville, moving northeast at 30 miles an hour. So again, gotta go ahead and take shelter then in this area, interior room away from windows. I know it's a little messy in a way in here, but it must be just enough rotation. They feel that the tornado warning product's the way to go, and that may be why that may be a confirmed tornado in there. Maybe they're not 100% sure, and that's why they gone ahead and issued that. That looks like some type of, that could be inflow, but it could also be a debris signature, quite honestly, the way that popped up there. I would almost lean toward that being a debris signature, and they'll probably go confirm tornado on this here soon, but they weren't maybe 100% sure that was debris. That's just a weird angle here, but that's right near, it looks like State Road 93, Meridian Road here. Again, this is in parts of southeastern Grady County. We could have a tornado down based on our debris product. They haven't confirmed this officially yet, but I have a feeling here that they could end up doing that here in short order. The National Weather Service in Tallahassee. So the box would turn purple if they do that. But, that pink is purple, lavender is color. Again, it's kind of weird in some ways on here, but let me check Moody's radar to see if that debris signature popped up over there as well. That could help us out some. We don't see as much there, which means if there is something, maybe it's not getting lofted too high yet. Not really seeing it off of this other radar either. I know there's an issue sometimes with the angles when you look from the radar here, but maybe that's debris. They didn't go confirm though. I think they just weren't really sure. They wanted to issue a tornado warning to be safe here one way or the other. So again, let's go ahead and just keep looking here. So at 9:54, severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado located 13 miles southwest of Thomasville, moving northeast at 30 miles an hour. North central Jefferson County in the Big Bend of Florida, northeastern Leon County in the Big Bend of Florida, southwestern Grady County and southwestern Georgia, and Thomas County and south central Georgia all involved. We're talking about this dangerous storm could be near Thomasville in about 10 minutes or so. Take shelter in Thomasville. We could have a tornado down at Boston around 10:25. Other locations impacted by this tornadic thunderstorm include Fincher, Thomasville Municipal Airport, Moncrief, Dillon, as well as Everett, Rocky Hill, Easton, Miccosukee, Princess Still, and Dawesville. So again, just have to go ahead and make sure you're taking those tornado precautions here this morning. Again, a tornado warning in effect here until 10:45. It could always get extended out or get canceled out early, but we definitely have a little something going on here. It could be more than just a little something. That's actually a debris signature. Again, it didn't go confirmed because, again, I'm a little uncertain too if this is debris here because it matches up somewhat, but it's in a weird area. But in a way, it would seem more likely. I don't think it was just inflow to pop up quite that quick there. So they're probably leaning, I don't know, I don't know for sure, but they're probably leaning toward debris too, but maybe not enough confidence yet to go radar confirm that that really picks up. That'd be not good news. It would be more definitive here, more clearly of a damaging tornado, but it would at least let us confirm that we have a tornado in progress. But you don't want to wait for a debris signature to take shelter. Again, this is right there, right around Meridian Road. Meridian Road there, State Road 93, US 319's in here. Take shelter right away. I'm kind of leery of seeing our next scan. I feel like this could get a little bit more significant looking here, but if it did, then again it would be confirmed. Hopefully it goes away. But okay, they're going confirmed now. So probably getting scans here and giving us more confidence now. So there's a tornado on the ground. We have a tornado in progress in our area. Haven't had this here with some of these other warnings lately. We've never gotten this confirmation toward like the Jacksonville area, or we had in Gadsden today. I'm talking about Jacksonville area last week, last Saturday, going back 8 days, or in the overnight area impacted in our viewing circle. Outside of there, we did have it, but the confirmation. But now in our area, we confirmed tornado. We thought it was that a moment ago, but now this is a debris signature. They're confident enough. Southeastern parts of Grady County have a tornado on the ground, and it could. We'll see if it jogs around on us or holds together, but in theory, it could threaten Thomasville here, and you got to take shelter around Thomasville here in Thomas County, Georgia right now. Again, a tornado looks to be in progress here right now in Grady County. You can't mess around here. The history of the system so significant in Middle Tennessee yesterday here. This shouldn't be as significant today, but there's a tornado watch and a tornado warning and playing a confirmed tornado warning at that. I know it didn't look as organized in some ways, but there's a distortion here. These winds are strong enough to cause issues here, and potentially more gate to gate. Roy, if you had a better angle on it, you would see that. But I know that debris scan hadn't updated. It may very soon, though. I mean, in a way, we don't want anything too crazy here. Okay, yeah, I can go up on the layers, though. That's pretty clear, honestly. Oh, yeah. It's over 4,000 feet there on that layer. It didn't go over the 7,000 foot layer, which is good, but 4,000 feet would probably indicate about an EF1 tornado. That's my guess based on the history. Don't know for sure. I have to take damage surveys by the Weather Service to know. We're just guessing pretty much based on radar. There are some tools you can plug in calculations at this point based on debris height, but we don't really have all that here yet. So it's almost just based on just kind of my knowledge here when you hear 4,000 feet with that. And that's what I saw on radar. The wind numbers look like about an EF1 here. I doubt we're getting EF2. It could be an EF0 there, at least at points. But it probably peaked out or is peaking out of the EF1 here unless something really strengthens on us here. Again, let's just keep looking at this. Okay, the debris scan, they just want to dissipate it some. That's good. Doesn't mean it couldn't touch back down, but that means maybe it wasn't on the ground here too long. This maybe that one scan or something. That's the period of time. That's a few minutes, but at least it's not really. It said a little bit of lofted debris, but we're only at about 1,500 feet with that. So maybe a situation where it's even a lower NDF1 because I didn't stick around too long on there on the scan, or even an EF0, but still enough to cause some damage, especially in mobile homes. Very vulnerable are mobile homes. Even EF0 could really be problematic for those or a vehicle if you're driving. So not really popping it out here. Doesn't mean it couldn't redevelop as you're headed toward Thomasville. There's still a tornado warning in play, but I know we've had these tornado warnings, haven't had confirmation, but that one was confirmed. It was confirmed for at least a moment there in parts of Grady County. Just give you perspective where we're at with this, because sometimes we get zoomed in. Many of you probably know where Thomasville is, but let's go to the coverage map. So Grady County there is just north of Leon. That's in Florida. Grady's in Georgia. Thomas is in Georgia. It's just to the east. So again, we're just north of Tallahassee and Leon County with this in Grady County. We're just southeast of Thomas, or southeast of Cairo, and southwest of Thomasville, west of Metcalf here. We had this confirmed tornado a moment ago on the ground. I know we're in north central Florida where we broadcast from for the 62 counties with our tornado covered. We're in Bradford County. We're always on. And we're not seeing anything around here yet, but there's a chance of severe weather. There is a chance later on, even further on off toward the east. So, again, tornado warning continues. We had a confirmed tornado on the ground a moment ago here. It was an observed tornado, the tag on this here, from the Weather Service. So again, just continuing to watch this here. continuing to track again, trying to give you guys the very latest here on this. So we're just going to keep on checking here all of our different sources again. It's all about protecting you. It's all about protecting your friends. It's all about protecting your family. Here this morning again, we started off with that storm there in Miller County a couple hours ago. This stream we've had to cover a tornado warning in Gadsden, and now this one here with a confirmed tornado in the ward part of Grady County. It would appear that scan on debris tracker seemed to indicate that was ongoing there, at least for a moment. So again, we thank you so much here for tuning on in. US 319 again, watching that vicinity there. It could always pop back up, could a debris signature. It probably have to take a moment to recycle, but doesn't mean it couldn't just pop up in the next scan. Even it has happened in situations before, so you don't want to let your guard down here. Again, I know as we're on with coverage, I know the description talked about earlier on with the storms, but it's a situation where we can't really, it's just a one-man band, we can't like change it here. The description is easily while we're talking on the different platforms, but it is a tornado situation right now here in South Georgia. We're moving from southwest to south central Georgia here right now. Again, that's what we're dealing with at this point in time with the tornado warning. And boy, we want to seek center inside that sturdy building. Get as many walls between you and the outside as possible. And protect yourself from flying everywhere by putting on a football helmet, bicycle helmet, something along those lines. So, again, just trying to give you guys the very latest here. Let's just keep looking at things here that are at our disposal. I know, let me see here. I may check another source of mine in just a moment. I'm going to zoom out first, though. You can kind of see where we're at with this and what the Miccosukee, I was just showing that. I'm just going to thunderstorm warning to the south here. Let me zoom out a bit more just so we kind of focus. I know some of this kind of maybe doesn't look as intense around Tallahassee at the moment. Let me take the tips off for a moment. I'm going to look down here because it looks like there might be some wind enhancement here north of Carabel. You have South Choppy, you have Crawfordville with a wind. Potential severe thunderstorm warning remaining in effect there. And we're just going to keep watching. I know on reflectivity around Tallahassee proper, things looking to improve pretty quickly, but you could have some more rain. Yeah, occasional lightning still a threat in here, even further up, but back to the west as well. And then you have, okay, the tornado warning, they've updated it. They're not kind of confirmed anymore, like what we kind of determined, but we're talking about a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado located 9 miles southwest of Thomasville, moving east at about 35 miles an hour. So again, kind of a situation here that is still ongoing. It was moving east at 35, and there is a little bit of a northerly component with this. So keep that in mind. They did cancel Jefferson and Leon out of it, but kept Grady and Thomas. So mainly Roy, the southeastern Grady and southern Thomas counties with the tornado warning, but it does include the following locations like Easton, Moncrief, Beachton, and Metcalf here. So again, I'm just continuing to watch things, continuing to track. I'm going to go ahead and check some more information now if we can. Let me go ahead and just go over to one of our other sources here. Again, just trying to see exactly what is all coming in here this morning. Again, let me just kind of see here where we're at with stuff. I'm going to go ahead and just kind of check some power outage numbers right now, I think. That might be a good place to go here at this point in time. Just kind of see what's going on potentially. A few of these areas. Okay, so powder.us, not really soon in the outages yet in Thomas County or in Grady County. Just one customer in the dark there. As we look here, 64 out in Jefferson County, 212 in Leon County, according to powder.us, 96 Gadsden, 25 Liberty, So those numbers aren't overwhelming or anything like that, which is some good news so far. But we'll just have to continue to watch the progress of all this here this morning. Again, we're just trying to give you guys the very latest on what's going on. Just letting you guys know exactly the details that you need here to protect you, your friends, your family. So 10 a.m. is December the 10th here, 2023. We're trying to stay on top of things the best we can. I'm going to go ahead and keep checking here some more details. Let me check another source here. Make sure we don't have anything that I need to see in terms of questions over on Twitter/X. Yeah, it's about trying to give you guys everything we can here in terms of a heads up, though. And the tornado warning goes till 10:45. We'll see if it stays in effect that long or not here. We're just going to have to keep watching and keep tracking the situation. Again, this warning does continue for parts of Grady and Thomas counties in the viewing area. So let me go ahead and pull up our safety tips again, just to remind everybody of what we're really dealing with in terms of those. Again, you want to seek center into that sturdy building, get as many walls between you and the outside as possible, and protect yourself from flying debris if that is a concern here by putting on that football helmet or a bicycle helmet. So, okay, no debris showing up right now, which is always a good sign compared to what we had earlier. If you were with us earlier on, it was a debris signature that was showing up there. Right here around, it looks like a 093 and Meridian Road, right in there. We were getting some debris. Hopefully it's more just tree stuff and not actual real significant type of like building damage, but you just never know. Could be a combination of both here. We'll find out here as we look ahead in toward that timeline again, as we try to give you guys the very latest here on what's going on this morning to protect you, protect your friends, protect your family here. Again, we're live on Twitter/X, I know, at the latest, and any other platforms, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch there. So we appreciate you guys tuning in. Let me see if there's anything new here, just in terms of anything that's coming on in. Again, a lot of different sources here to check on out, so just bear with me here. Let me just go ahead and kind of move this one over a bit. Again, just trying to give you guys the answers to your questions here as they come on in. I know it's interesting seeing the temperature contrast in these areas across the country as well. We want to jump over to that here in a moment. That might be a good place to go with this. Okay, just going to keep looking here. Some of the different numbers coming on in and the like. Let's go ahead and jump on up here to a broad perspective. You see all these 30s, 40s there towards Nashville and the like here. They zoom out just a tad further. That's such a big departure from what they dealt with yesterday with the severe weather. And that's kind of heading this general direction here, some of this, and even put this into winter mode. You don't really see it down here, but eventually we're going to see some wintry precip really kind of take over in some of these spots there in the areas further off Tennessee and further off toward the north, especially though. So again, just going to keep checking. I know our pressures here. Barometric pressure about 1,015 millibars. Some of these areas you have a lot of lightning in the Gulf too. Don't have radar down here. We have infrared and visible satellite, and you can kind of see the cloud cover there and the storms that'll be coming into play. Total cloud tops, the water vapor, prior behind. But thunderstorm activity, some of that won't be necessarily a factor for our area, but nonetheless, it's worth noting here. Let's get back into Grady and Thomas County. You kind of see a little bit of a, on this mode, it almost looks like a bookend vortex. I didn't really see that as much on the other one. Let me see, yeah, maybe so. I know downtown Thomasville, I know the worst of this may go just south of you guys. No debris signature right now as we jump back on over to other motor. Now you might be wondering, we have different things that kind of go on with the radar. This little line here is nothing. Let me go ahead and get the mouse on the screen, but this line here is nothing to be too terribly concerned about here. It's just other areas that you kind of know when you see it. It was that little area out here that stood out like a sore thumb. That was a confirmed tornado west of Metcalf there, south of Cairo just a little while ago, southwest of Thomasville. So that was an observed tornado there around 9:55, 9:56 there by the Doppler radar technology there. Southeastern Grady County now. Not seeing that really so up, which is good, but still some gusty winds, some heavy rain, and the like here. The tornado warning still technically in effect for under the 29 minutes. Again, you see some winds in here. Not sure how high they're really reaching down to the surface if you're not maybe getting a tornado or something like that. I haven't really seen anything overwhelming with the winds here today, but you just never know. I know the rotation looks weaker on tornado tracking mode per se on the velocity. They might drop this warning soon if the trends continue. I would think they would, but right now it's still in effect. Okay, they just trimmed it back a little. Let's go to a different vantage point on this. Still some rotation off the Moody radar as well. They've canceled Grady, but Thomas County at 1016 is the thunderstorm located that's capable of producing a tornado near Thomasville, moving northeast at about 30 miles an hour. So areas of Thomasville still into the southeast part and southern part of town to some degree. Talking again about Thomasville and Thomas County. And we have Boston. We have areas there like Easton and Metcalf here. Under this, I see they've updated the thunderstorm warning to Tallahassee office as well. That has a tornado possible today. They've dropped Grady County out of it. But they're going to continue Jefferson, Brooks, and Thomas until 11:15. Again, that's the storyline there right now. Again, just trying to give you guys the very latest here on what's going on. A lot of lightning, whenever thunder roars, you want to go indoors, we switch back over to the Tallahassee vantage point of the radar. I know you definitely see some wind enhancement here just off of Carabel and Lanark Village. Something that's going to probably be more of a factor for the coastal water that may kind of clip areas up here, just east of St. Teresa, but we'll have to watch it. But right now, nothing of really imminent concern with that, but I will pay attention to it. Anything could happen here in these type of setups. It can change quickly, the pattern. Again, tornado warning still in effect there in the purple box. Again, looking less and less organized here. I know it didn't look just completely put together in that one mode before we had a debris signature, but it was at least showing more signs of just overall strength. Right now, it looks like it's probably not producing a tornado up there, but can't lay your guard down unless they drop that warning. And even then, you have to see the thunderstorm warning and pose a tornado possible tag unless they drop that. So, just got to be kind of erring on the side of caution here this morning. Some of these different areas within the viewing circle. Again, we have that logo red here. Roy, just to kind of emphasize the potential here of some danger for some of you local viewers out there on this Sunday morning, unfortunately interfering with church plans, Sunday school plans, other plans you might have, maybe just plans for studying for those final exams. Definitely unfortunate here this morning. And this rain definitely headed toward areas further off toward the east eventually, like Stark and Gainesville, so it's going to be wet later on. Just be careful on the roads here. I know when thunder roars are going indoors as well, whether we have as many warnings or maybe we don't have any warnings, we get lucky and on beyond. You still have to be careful from the rain and the storms. But if we do have enough of that buildup of the instability here, well, that could be problematic for areas further off toward the east here if we get enough of an overlap of the shear profiles. I know we are in the mid-70s now toward Keystones. That could be an issue for us. And then as we look here, our significant tornado parameter does not sign up as well, so that's a good sign. Supercell composite here, maybe not as much. Instability even not showing up as much, it wouldn't seem at this moment, so that could be a good sign. But we'll have to wait and see. The daytime heating could still get involved here to some degree and still be an issue for us. So, again, that's something to kind of be mindful of here. And it's going to be, believe it or not, in the 30s tonight. I mean, upper 30s, depending on where you're at within our viewing area. Again, that's very cold conditions that we'll be talking about here as we're looking at things. Gotta be bundling on up here in some ways. If you're bundling on up, so again, definitely going to be chilly out there. But right now, have that wind there, the southerly direction there with that. The wind coming from the south, pushing the north, and that's giving you that moist air, that warmer air, more favorable for severe conditions. But contrast that with the air coming in, and the temperatures cooler, drier conditions from the north and west. And that's when the wind shift there will become pronounced after the storminess gets through. And that'll bring in the cool air pretty rapidly here. So again, that's something to kind of touch base on here, let you guys know about here on this Sunday morning. Again, it's a thunderstorm warning still for Tallahassee till 10:30, or it's the east until 11:15, and the tornado warning goes until 10:45. So again, we're just going to keep checking things, keep tracking them here in the Weather Center. Again, that tornado warning still on the board here. Not for the next little bit. I haven't dropped it yet. It has the Weather Service in Tallahassee. They're going to keep watching it out very carefully and see if they need to here over the next little bit. So again, it's just all about keeping you guys safe here today. Again, I'm just going through everything that we have here. Everything that we have. Again, let's go ahead and real quick kind of recap some things. I know, let's remind you guys of where we're at with this. I know we're on Facebook there, Casey Cloud X, Cloud Weather there, and then you have Twitter. It's also called the X platform now. We're on at Cloud Casey, of YouTube at Cloud Weather. If you haven't already done so, make sure you hit that subscribe button over there. You have Twitch there, Cloud Weather, and then you have cloudweather.com, including the interactive radar page there, cloudweather.com/radar. So again, just wanted to touch base there. We still have an active tornado warning. Again, for areas of Thomas County here this morning, within the viewing area. Again, we're just going to go ahead and keep watching, keep tracking here. I know our system's working hard to keep you guys safe here. I'm trying to get all the latest radar images on in, all the latest data on in here. That's what it's all about here, to keep you guys up to date. I know. We go ahead, go to the other mode here. It looks kind of a little bit kind of hard to pick stuff out here at this point, but I have to continue to track here the situation. Maybe a little bit of wind enhancement right here. That could be concerning. Southeast side of Thomasville proper then. Right there, that latest scan, the scan just came in. So maybe a little bit stronger wind now right along US 19. No debris, thankfully, but that does look like it's starting to strengthen a bit, which could be some cause for concern why they haven't dropped the tornado warning yet. So just be careful here. Getting towards some of these different areas and some of our backyards. Just can't let your guard down here as the situation does progress. The situation does evolve on us here. Again, remember, tornado warning. Let's go ahead and go over those safety tips for that. Again, tornado warning means you set that 30 building. Get as many walls between you and the outside as possible. You really don't want to be in mobile homes if you can. Avoid those, and then just protect yourself from flying debris out potential by putting on a bicycle helmet if you feel like you need to, or a football helmet. Tornado watch down a plate of at least 11. That means conditions favorable for the dangerous conditions. So just stay tuned for the latest. And we'll go ahead and jump back on over here now. Again, just checking here all our different scans. Just checking all the different scans here. Trying to let you guys know what's happening. Had to be on for a while so far here this morning. But it's all about trying to keep you guys safe and informed. Again, we're just going to keep looking. Probably rain wrapped if we had a tornado here at this point in time. So that makes it even more dangerous, obviously. I know it's the daytime, but still, you don't want rain wrapped stuff here causing problems for you. You definitely don't want to have to worry about that here. Again, I'm just going to keep looking. Let me go ahead and zoom back out a little bit here. Again, this is Thomas County, Georgia. Here's our map that shows you where that is. It's more due north of Jefferson in Florida and the Big Bend there. And I know this is part of our 62 counties, our commitment. And we've been on for every tornado warning storm over the last 4 years whenever anyone's moved through our 62 counties. So just trying to keep you guys updated here. Let's go ahead. I know this kind of sticks out still in a way. Almost, I mean, at this point, it almost is actually pulled a little bit of an interesting directional look to it when you think about it. But again, I'm just gonna keep checking here. I know, honestly, I haven't got that many reports really on in. That looks a little bit stronger south of St. Teresa. We'll watch that there. That could be an issue for the coastal areas. Again, still watching things, still tracking things. Depends on what they do with this tornado warning, but depending on some downstream warning decisions here that are made, we may wrap this, even if they go down the severe thunderstorm warning to the east here just for a little bit, because it would seem we're not getting a lot of verification with this, but don't know, except for that tornado, obviously. Don't get me wrong, I'm talking about just a straight line of winds here. Of course, that tornado was down. We saw that debris tracker pretty rural area, I would think, based on what I was seeing so far. But that's concerning. But other than that, a lot of this other action, the winds haven't seemed to have reached otherwise, and that's good news. That's definitely good news here. As we're looking at things, as we're tracking things here this morning. Again, trying to let you guys know exactly what's going on. We're just trying to let you guys have the very latest details here. And again, the power outage numbers here aren't too impressive according to PowerTech.us. 96 Gadsden County in terms of customers out. 25 Liberty County, 1 Franklin County, 25 Wakulla, 239 Leon, 47 in Jefferson and Georgia. Where it didn't look like we had a debris signature, and the numbers may take a while to catch up still, but so far, let's just see here. The preliminary look at this doesn't show any Adam Grady or Thomas, but I suspect we would have had to have some out there with that debris signature that seemed to have shown up on radar there a little while ago. So, again, just going to keep checking here. I know around Cropperville and South Tropi, definitely some wind enhancement, even right near St. Teresa, even a little weak rotation, so we have to watch that. More lightning down there, probably more instability would be in that realm there. That's something to kind of keep in mind here. Something to keep in mind for sure. I know it's an interesting pattern because we had dense fog here earlier this morning across some of our areas further off toward the east, but just kind of goes to see some of the different levels here. I mean, you have different levels of things. You have the moisture around, for instance, and that can be an issue in terms of getting that storm development. Here's some of that severe storm development. So, again, this tornado warning goes for another 15 minutes officially. Don't see as much here with it, but I know they're trying to earn this out of caution since it's a chance. There is a chance in this situation that maybe something was down before that tornado warning was issued. Not 100% sure, but it just kind of seemed like we saw that when they issued it, and it was for just base instead of confirmed, but they weren't sure maybe at that point until they looked at some other things if that was debris or not, and instead thinking it was debris there, ultimately there toward areas of Grady County. So, again, just letting you guys know what's going on here. Let's go ahead and zoom back out. I know, we'll keep watching, keep tracking. If we don't, okay, I'm going to go with a new warning now. Okay, let's see what they're doing. It's a thunderstorm warning until noon. I know some of these situations we can just post about the morning that we need to, but it's going to do severe thunderstorm warning until noon for the Valdosta area. It appears okay. That looks a little bit stronger off the Moody in just terms of the wind now, so that's a little bit concerning. They're going 60 on the wind, but that looks a lot stronger now off of that mode. The last few scans that kind of surges out looks like more straight line, maybe, but there is a little bit of weak rotation. I know. Just interesting how you look at certain scans, it shows, and they show different things here. See if there's anything in terms of debris. It's not really certain. There might be a little something there. I'll watch, but yeah, your new warning now, all the way out till noon. Even though it's more messy, sometimes it gets a little bit trickier. It's a little bit trickier in here when we're watching things. You still have some potential for some severe development, even if it doesn't look maybe really organized in some pockets or later other pockets are able to really maintain themselves. But then it's a morning from Madison County, the Big Bend of Florida, southern Cook County, and south central Georgia, southeastern Berrien County, and south central Georgia, getting over toward, looks like Lanier County and south central Georgia, Lowndes County, south central Georgia, central Brooks County and south central Georgia till noon. And 1029, severe thunderstorms looking along the line there that extended all the way to about 14 miles south of Monticello, moving northeast at 40 miles an hour. Locations included are not just limited there to Adel, Valdosta, Madison over toward Lake Park, Lakeland, Quitman, Hihara, Race City there, I-75 and Exit 16, Moody Air Force Base, Bremerton, Meigs, Dasher, Greenville, Morven, Lee, Cecil, Barrett, Greggs, and Panetta. Okay, so I know we had another new warning. That's going to be, let's see here. It's going to be this area down near the coast that has a tornado possible tag like the other one does. Let's go ahead and go on over here. I'm going to go ahead and keep checking. And there's that weak rotation. So that's to 11:15 down there. Again, I know we're watching things with Rowan or posting about stuff, but maybe it's not something really imminent. But generally, we're on, or we have a tornado warning, we're on for sure, like we do right now. Have that toward Thomasville, which we'll get back to here in a moment. But again, eastern McCullough, southwestern Jefferson, and northeastern Franklin counties under this severe thunderstorm warning is coming down to 11:15. That's kind of storyline there. 10:30, severe thunderstorms located along the line extending from 13 miles southwest of Crawfordville to 14 miles east there of Caravel, moving northeast there at about 30 miles an hour. Woodville, St. Mark's, Crawfordville, Choppy, Newport, Alligator Point, St. Teresa, Turkey Point, Ball Point, Hyde Park, Panacea, Wakulla Airport, McIntyre, Tully, Panacea, Shell Point, Port Leon, Wakulla Beach, and Buckhorn. So, again, just going to keep looking here at things. I'm going to keep tracking them. Let me go ahead and go back up to the north now. Again, that tornado warning there, that looks interesting on that mode a bit. Northwest and maybe northwest of Boston. That's about 3,000 feet up. Let's take the Moody radar now. Okay, that's a little bit higher, but the angle might help us a little at this point. Looks a little bit weaker in terms of rotation. It was trying to tighten up maybe even this mode a bit, but as it was trying to clip the southeastern parts of Thomasville and really edge, I mean, it's kind of edging near the top of the polygon even, but now a little bit further over and a little bit weaker, but in terms of just rotation, but the actual straight line one's a different story. As you can see here, look at those winds there, straight line, closer to 70 miles an hour there around Boston. Again, just going to keep on tracking here. Keep on watching. Trying to give you guys the very latest here. Again, we haven't had, except for that debris signature, indications of much damage today, but This is something that could cause a little bit of damage here as you're headed out east of Thomasville on US 84, now points north of that. Could have some concern here. Again, no rotary signature, but we have these new warnings here further on off. And that could be an issue for folks here as the situation does progress. Again, we're just going to keep looking here. Again, the tornado warning still in effect here. Parts of Thomas County. Again, I know we started out with that warning way earlier in the Miller County, so a thunderstorm warning, but we've gone through a bunch of other warnings in that time frame. Now we're on about 2.5 hours. Giving you guys the very latest here. We currently have that tornado warning we have to stick on here east of Thomasville. So we're on US 84. A little bit of a hook still in there. Again, I'm just trying to give you guys the very latest on what's going on. I know the Tallahassee radar says the wind quite a bit weaker further off, but just to the east we have the displacement of winds here. That's at 1034. I mean, maybe something in here almost, which is kind of interesting. Could be an issue later on toward the I-75 corridor. We're still a ways away from that. I know Adel, you're right on the edge of the severe thunderstorm warning, by the way. Hopefully the worst will go away and more south of you, but we'll just have to kind of continue to watch here, continue to track. So, again, just trying to let you guys know exactly what's going on in this type of situation. Again, it's a very long fused warning provided to Austin. Severe thunderstorm warning, tornado possible tag until noon, until the lunch hour. And we're just going to keep checking things here. Keep watching, keep giving you guys the very latest here on what's going on. And around Crawfordville, soft choppy, we have that severe thunderstorm warning in play down that way. With some pretty strong winds on up around Panacea. US 98 there, definitely going to be getting some interesting enhancement down here. I know at least Tallahassee's past the worst of this at this point. That's what we like to see, but still other areas have to get through it. At least the higher population density kind of getting past this a little bit. Again, trying to give you guys the latest here. Looking around St. Teresa again. No debris or anything like that. This is a thunderstorm warning officially, but we're going to keep watching, keep tracking. Okay, they're saying they're expiring a tornado warning for Thomas now. Technically though, because it's not a cancellation, it'll still be in effect for another 7 minutes or so. So again, we're just going to have to keep tracking the overall potential here. We're just going to keep tracking it, keep monitoring it, keep giving you guys the very latest details on what's happening here in the Weather Center. It's all about protecting you, your friends, your family. I know the box will go away, but technically the warning will still be in effect here. Just a little bit longer. Just a little bit longer. I know that box there just going away, but we're still going to be paying attention here. Still going to be paying attention. Now we have 3 severe thunderstorm warnings in play right now. We're just going to keep looking at them. Let's go ahead and look south of Crawfordville right now. You know, that's an area we need to watch around St. Teresa. Some of that could be more in the coastal waters very soon, though. And that means that maybe they drop that warning. It depends on how kind of parallel. It could come back into Taylor County, though. That could be an issue here later on. I know east of Thomas faces that rotation kind of relaxing some. That's why they dropped that tornado warning as of 10:45 at least. But there's still a little bit of something there. We can't completely let our guard down. Again, you have Valdosta here. Definitely have some wind enhancement there around Boston. Be interested to hear if there's any damage reports, because again, besides the debris, I don't report that Cairo County, not Cairo County, but Grady County around the Cairo area, southeast of there in Grady County. we haven't actually had any confirmation of any damage reports that I've seen come across. So again, talking about Grady County, they're southeast of the community of Cairo. So we still have that little notch here on this. So again, just gonna continue to track here south of Barwick. Again, it's just a one-man band, but we're trying the best we can to keep you guys safe and informed here. Again, the tornado warning officially, even though it's not on the map right now, technically it still goes for another 5 minutes or so. So again, we're just gonna keep tracking things here. But if we don't get another tornado warning here, past 10:45, we'll probably wrap it up to about 11 here, unless we have another red box pop up. But I didn't want to jump back in immediately, so just a heads up on that in terms of our coverage plans. If we don't have anything new from around 10:45 or so, then from about that point, about 11, we'll probably take a break here, catch our breath, rest our voice for a few minutes, as I've been on for a while with this here at this point. I mean, talking continuously for about an hour and a half now, probably since our last break. But okay, so we got an update from the Storm Prediction Center in Norman, Oklahoma, though. Mesoscale discussion. You see that blue circle area? They're saying that some threat for a brief tornado does persist here. I know. I'm just gonna kind of take note of that here. Make note of that. By the way, I know you're seeing that area. Some of that's the Dahlia area that was impacted so hard within there. Also, by the way, flood advisory now. Parts of Liberty and McCullough until 12:45. Some of that heavier rain causing some issues there. But going back to the mesoscale discussing, they're saying some threat for a brief tornado and locally damaging wind may persist through late morning. They're saying now maybe instability becomes a story. Then they're saying there could be an increasing threat. Just a 40% chance of a new watch issued at this point downstream, but an increasing threat possible across northern Florida's peninsula by early afternoon of the QLCS. A QLCS here is moving across South Georgia into the eastern Florida panhandle with a possible brief tornado recently noted there near the Florida-Georgia border, where a supercell was earlier absorbed into the line in the short term. This QLCS will be moving eastward into an increasingly stable here, low-level environment is what they're saying. But speaking of unstable, nasty conditions, we did now get a confirmed report, by the way. Thunderstorm report, damage there out of Jefferson County, 2 miles southwest of Lloyd. Been told a power pole was broken there on White House Road in Jefferson County. But again, they're saying here back in the discussing that Storm Prediction Center discussing that relatively favorable low-level and deep layer shear could be an issue, even though some weakening appeared likely with the line. We have that really more favorable shear amid seasonally rich low-level moisture, and that may continue to support a threat for a brief tornado and or locally damaging wind unless a more definitive weakening trend commences. And with the daytime heating here, a factor that could be an issue. We may have a threat that lasts a longer period of time, or we could be on here for a while today, I would think. So some heating has been noted across northern parts of the Florida Peninsula, and somewhat more destabilization is possible by early afternoon, and there's some increase in the low level flow possible with time to the interaction there of some different things, and the increasing influence of an approaching mid to upper level shortwave trough currently near the upper Texas coast. This could result in some rejuvenation of the QLCS near the Florida coastal bend into the northwestern peninsula. Some of these areas that have been impacted here by Idalia earlier this year could have a continued threat of a brief tornado or two and locally damaging wind. And they're saying the need for a new watch this morning remains uncertain due to the anticipated short-term weakening trend, but watch issuance will be possible by early afternoon in the parts of the northern Florida panhandle, depending on the short-term convective and destabilization trends. So it's going to kind of depend on how things come together, if we get another watch to the east or not here. It's going to kind of determine if that is necessary. I know You have weakening trends a lot, but to get this to maybe re-strengthen would be cause for concern here, obviously. Okay, so that 1045 benchmark here is now that tornado warning should no longer be in effect. That'd be some good news. We're seeing still weak rotation, but let's look here real quick at base velocity. Just some wind energy in here. It looks a little weaker south of Barwick, west there of Quitman. This is a thunderstorm warning for Austin, Madison here as we look. You have that warning there. Just southeast of Crawfordville at the worst of this here. More to the coast, you have some weak rotation down there. We'll have to watch and could get some rejuvenation and stuff. So we'll be paying attention here. We'll be giving you guys updates. We're at 10:45 right now. We'll get another tornado warning here soon. We'll pop back in immediately, but otherwise I'll see you here at the top of the hour, 11 o'clock, with more weather information. So just keep it tuned here to Cloud Weather. We're going to keep you guys safe and informed here on this busy Sunday morning. Could be a busy Sunday afternoon as well for some of our viewers here. So again, we'll be back here around 11 o'clock or so. So we got another tornado warning where we have a pressing matter to come on for us. See you guys then. Stay safe as we'll have more information here as conditions warrant.
This is a Clouds weather alert.
Meteorologist Casey Cloud back here at the top of the hour giving you an update here on the severe thunderstorm situation across the region. I know we've had some tornado warnings here this morning. Well, at least we don't have any of those, and the tornado watch here just went away as of 11 a.m. So that's some late breaking information just coming on in here that we were expecting, but that has just popped off the screen here as at the top of the hour. So that's kind of what we're tracking here at the moment as we go ahead and kind of look through some things here. This morning we're just going to continue to monitor the progress here of the activity across the region. I know we still have that threat here for severe weather as we look ahead here in toward the timeline. So there's that risk there, that marginal risk of severe weather that encompasses our region as we're looking further on off toward the east. So we can't let our guard down here, obviously, as the situation does progress here. The situation does evolve. We're just going to keep on checking things here in the Weather Center. I know. Let's recap what's going on right now with some of these warnings. So the warning to 11:15 that continues for Jefferson, Brooks, and Thomas, indicative of 60-mile-an-hour wind gust potential. Jefferson and McCullough to 11:15, we're talking about 60-mile-an-hour wind gust potential, and then up toward Madison, Berrien, Brooks, even getting toward Cook, Lanier, and Lowndes until noon. That's also for the potential 60-mile-an-hour wind gust. I know we've had some weak rotation with some of that stuff. We did have that confirmed tornado earlier based on that debris signature in Grady County, southeast of Cairo. We'll continue to monitor, see if there's any important information in terms of damage there. Just starting to get some thunderstorm wind damage reports next, so I may break those down here in a moment. I know seeing a little bit of wind enhancement here in some of our modes. You can kind of see there in northern parts of Brooks County a little bit of something, but a lot of these areas in between don't see a lot. But then as we get down here near the coast, there's quite a bit of rotation. And now that could be an issue later on toward Taylor County. Then there is some rotation down here. And that could be a problem there as we're looking towards some of these areas that are pretty rural but still vulnerable because of what happened with Idalia going back a little bit. So definitely something to kind of take note of there in that regard as we're kind of looking at things here in the Weather Center. I know we're being told of a couple reports in Thomas County, Georgia now, some thunderstorm wind damage around 10:26. Both of these are from that time. The 911 call center reported a tree down on Russell Road and Highway 84 East. And then also a report of a tree down on 594 County Farmers Road. So definitely not what you want to hear on this Sunday morning. As we continue to give you the latest, again, definitely some wind enhancement here in the Gulf. Could require another warning as we get further on up the coast here over the next little bit toward areas of Taylor County here more so as we look and toward the timeline. I know officially we're not seeing a warning for Taylor yet, even though I know the map kind of makes it look like that here, a little bit of it in there, but that'll probably change here in a little bit. Can't guarantee it, of course, but we'll just continue to watch, continue to track here as the situation does progress. The timeline does progress here on us, and we eventually kind of get the situation here out of our area, which will be some good news for folks. But right now we're not to that point, so that's why we have to be on the air here to give you guys everything you need to protect you, protect your friends, protect your family. So again, right now no active tornado warnings, which is a good sign, but things could change. Things do look a little weaker right now, but there's definitely a chance there could be some damage somewhere near. Don't see a lot on this here to worry about DOS stuff. Well, the only reason I'm going to stay on right now, I know we could have some damage here or there, but it'd really be down here though. I think this is what could trigger. I feel like a tornado warning or something, or at least a new severe thunderstorm warning pretty soon as it gets further down. It doesn't mean it will. Sometimes the stuff right into the Gulf, when it gets closer to land, it kind of fizzles. I don't know if it'll do that in this pattern or not though, but That's just sometimes our pattern here that is more typical. So that's something to kind of keep in mind. We'll just have to continue to track that here. Continue to monitor that for sure. I know, I'm just checking out all of our different resources here. Just be kind of interested to see how that progresses. Again, Weather Service and Storm Prediction Center, some of the different conversations are that Storm Prediction Center thinks to kind of have this weaken out some, but then maybe get a re-strengthening here at some point. Gotta wonder if this could kind of take hold down here if we get the more instability in play. I know that could be an issue. That could be an issue here. If we get more instability in play, and the temperature down toward the south could be a storyline. So let's go ahead and check some of that real quick. And you see the wind, by the way, out ahead. That's the storyline too here. Some of the gusts were out here in Bradford County. I had a gust there. I believe it was 17 miles an hour a few moments ago on my anemometer. But temperature-wise, they're warmer down here, even up toward 80. Well, that's just south of the area. That could be an issue here too with the instability. This kind of have to get the overlap of shear instability and the like. But getting a couple updates here. Okay, so I didn't see this live, and they didn't. I don't think they didn't call it radar confirm when it was live, but it looks like there must have been at some point now. Tallahassee office saying 8:29 this morning in Gadsden County there was a brief debris signature on radar off the Tallahassee a site there 2 miles northeast of Sawdust, but no structural damage has been reported as of this time at least. And then the other debris signature, which was more clear obviously, Grady County, 1 mile west of Beachton, 9:55 a.m. There's also been no structural damage reported this time. That's a little more surprising based on what we're seeing there on some of those Doppler algorithms. So that's a good sign, but we'll just have to continue to watch the progress here of the situation. So again, just gonna keep checking here, keep monitoring, keep giving you guys everything you need. And a marine warning with water spout possible tag now in it here. That's something to kind of take note of here as we're looking. I know again it may be a situation when we have some stuff kind of re-strengthen on us here near the coast. They are calling these severe thunderstorms are the Weather Service office there in Tallahassee. That's what these look to be here at this point in time. So it's kind of interesting to take note of here. We'll just have to continue to watch, continue here to monitor. Again, right in here is where this comes ashore. I'm just kind of curious to see if we get a warning with it. A severe thunderstorm warning, maybe more likely here at this point with a tornado possible tag. Maybe they don't issue a warning, or maybe it is a tornado warning, but we'll just have to wait and see. So, again, starting to get some more damage reports in here now from back earlier. Again, just trying to check here what's going on. We're just trying to let you guys know everything you need here. Again, watching some of this stuff in South Central Georgia, Eastern Big Bend. Let's go back down to the Tallahassee radar. Again, definitely intriguing here. Winds to about 60, maybe between the two directions, but it'd be interesting to see if this kind of just fades or if it holds its own or strengthens as it gets closer to land. Also a little bit of debris signature in there, but again, just continuing to track. I know there's another tornado touchdown too earlier today. They mentioned debris signature Tallahassee jurisdiction. We had one during the night too, but they hadn't put the local storm report in for this one here, the more recent one in Henry County, Alabama, around Dancy. No structural damage reported there either. And then we had thing in Alabama there further back that was tracking toward Georgia, but it cut in for way into the night there, wee hours. I mean, 2, 3 in the morning. That general timeline where we were tracking things there, and we were on with that for a little bit. I'm trying to keep you guys safe and informed. I don't think we had anything in our covered area from that, so just gonna have to keep checking here our different numbers. Keep monitoring things here. Let me see our power outage details. I'm gonna try to get an update here. Just bear with me. So in Florida right now, 2,231 customers in the dark. Looks like about 258 in Jefferson, 237 Leon, 100 Gadsden, and 25 Liberty. That's not too overwhelming, thankfully, which is some good news in Georgia. I know some outages around Atlanta, Cherokee County, but Thomas County we have 208 customers in the dark. Grady, at least showing up on the Power.US map, none, but we'll just have to continue to wait and see, continue to monitor here, continue to track. I know a lot of this line action over land looks a lot weaker right now. We wish it would just stay that way and kind of fall off, and it could. I mean, there's that chance there. We don't get a re-strengthening. And then we went up to cut in maybe later on today. You just go to the radar there on our website, clutter.com, for an interactive look at things. But more than likely, we're going to see a resurgence of this. We have to be with you at some point here during the day to keep you guys safe and informed here. So, the afternoon, definitely, you know, few hours or so at least before we get anything toward North Central Florida's dark area here with the storms in place. So that's kind of something to take note of. I know we started the stream out a few hours ago, hoping it would just be contained to a warning, be able to wrap it up, and instead we've been on for the last 3 hours or so, trying to keep you guys safe and informed here. I know we're in a tornado warning storm with our 62 counties. It's our policy to be on, no matter what here. In those circumstances, we jumped on for a thunderstorm warning, but then it turned into that, and of course, that's what we were having to cover there. I know it's a scenario here where we're on Facebook, Twitter, which is also called X, YouTube, and Twitch, and it's a bit thunderstorm warning. Sometimes in those situations, description there kind of has to change per se, in terms of what we're doing, but not in terms of the text of it here, though. We're just a one-man band, so I'm not going to focus generally on updating that while we're doing coverage here. But yeah, we had to switch away, obviously. I mean, this situation did switch away from Miller County earlier on there in southwestern Georgia to other areas here with tornado warnings and the like. Again, they're still watching things. I know we're going to have 2 of these 3 warnings go away in a couple minutes, it would appear. We'll see what comes behind here, but so Jefferson and McCullough and Jefferson, Brooks, and Thomas are slated to expire here in a moment. So this one and this one, they may add another one in here somewhere. Maybe they don't think it's quite severe. We'll see, but we're just gonna have to wait and see. But Eastern McCullough, Southwestern Jefferson, and then also talking about Jefferson, Eastern Thomas, and Brooks counties. Okay, we just got some new information in. This is kind of what we were afraid of here to some degree. And one of the things we were concerned with, we were watching some stuff. We have a new tornado watch, and that's going to go until 5 o'clock now. This just came down. This literally just came down here, folks. So, it's going to encompass a lot of our areas, even some of the Tampa jurisdiction, it looks like is in here. Let me zoom out then. This should pop up at 11:15. That's probably when they set this for. Although it's significant with advisory in Georgia, parts of Clinton, Jeff Davis, as well as Coffee and Atkinson, gust of 55, landspout possible, so weak rotation up there. But again, a tornado watch now be an issue here, so this could be an issue for some of those football games in some of these areas here this afternoon as well. The NFL games maybe getting interrupted. I know the Jags game, there's kind of a situation where things kind of take priority there. Maybe with that on one channel and covered on another channel. So that's good news. But now a tornado watch here. You see where they put it at. Okay, it's more in the Florida counties. So you see like Columbia, Baker, Union, Bradford in this, but also all the way down through Levy and Marion, and even Citrus is outside of the area, but everybody outside of Citrus within our area is what we're talking about, a tornado watch here. All the counties that are encompassed by it, except for Citrus, are in our area. And it goes again until 5 o'clock. So it's a pretty long fuse watch here for the geography of this. So I just got to remember to really be careful here. I just got to be really careful in these type of circumstances here. I know tornadoes can develop with little or no advance warning here. So a couple of tornadoes possible, gusts to 65, 40% chance of 2 or more tornadoes. I know pattern last couple years going back, not last year, but the years before, 2021 and 2020, we had tornado threats here toward the area as we were looking toward, Christmas Eve in 2020 and 2021. It was about this time of year, I think. It would have had to be right before Mayfield, so almost just a few days before this, we had that EF1 tornado there hitting Stark. So we didn't have a tornado watch zone in play when we had this situation here before. So more organized threat, potentially, doesn't mean it'll verify, but potentially a more organized threat here now. The tornado watch in that broad yellow swath until 5 o'clock here, that broad yellow swath. So we're talking about Dixie, Lafayette, Madison, and Taylor, Tallahassee County. That, of course, the Jacksonville counties. I know they're sending out different individual reports. Also, the flash flooding potential here. You see the 2 severe thunderstorm warnings just went away, but the one still stands there on the screen. And I'll go ahead and move the map up a little bit here so you guys get an idea of what we're talking about with that. Okay, so the other area here, tornado watch Alachua, Baker, Bradford, Columbia, Gilchrist, Hamilton, Marion, Swanee, and Union until 5 o'clock. A tornado watch here in play, so conditions favorable for tornadic development and close to the watch area. So just have to be very mindful of what could happen. The instability, well, we destabilized some to the east. The tornado parameter is just enough, I guess. Holding on. I mean, stuff maybe overachieving based on what the numbers show, but just have to be really cognizant of what's going on here. Again, to repeat, a tornado watch now in play till 5 o'clock. We're also being told now that there was damage in the McCulloch County area earlier this morning about 9:45. A tree was downed around Woodville, so 2 miles northeast of Vereen. That's according to the 911 call center. So let's just keep looking at things here. Keep tracking them. Keep checking here. Let's tighten it up some off the Taylor County coast. We may get a tornado warning here soon. Parts of Taylor County. Okay, or even parts of Jefferson. I see some rotation there for sure. I definitely could get a tornado warning. Again, we have a tornado watch now until 5 o'clock, though. Parts of the area. Again, just trying to give you guys the very latest here. What's going on. Again, one-man band, but I've got some rain warnings down here. We have that 1 severe thunderstorm warning to the north. That didn't look that impressive on the Tallahassee radar. Let's check the Moody radar. Yeah, there's not a lot there, but I think we're gonna get a warning of some kind. I'm just kind of guessing here. Especially that tornado watch, the pattern would seemingly be ripe here to get at least a severe thunderstorm warning with a tornado possible tag, if not just an outright tornado warning here toward parts of Jefferson and Taylor. So area hit by Idalia to some degree. Don't want to wrap it here at this point. Now, if it starts to fade, the rotation, which that scan was a better sign for us, and maybe we get to wrap it here for a little while, catch our breath, and then come back on if needed. So kind of up and down. They made us go and see a thunderstorm warning with this too. I mean, the way this line is here, I mean, we'll see. You never know. But area to the north end is impressive, but the tornado watch here focuses on that area toward the south here. It's honestly one of the more unusual, I said maybe a tropical system. That's one of the more unusual tornado watch boxes I've seen around here. I know you probably don't think it's unusual. It's just that there's certain areas they like to cover with a tornado watch, and it's not always set in stone, but generally there's certain counties where you include in a certain pattern, but instead, this pattern here, is a little bit of an anomaly. So, I know, again, tropical cyclones and like you have maybe unusual areas covered. I mean, this is pretty unusual too, because guess what? I mean, we talked about this here earlier, not to focus exactly on where they said the tornado threat might be. And in fact, you see the risk area was more to the north, and instead now the tornado watch encompasses areas here further down to the south. So they're not overlapping very good. This tornado watch extended into like Bradford County and Stark, Lake City and Columbia County, Gainesville, Alachua County, Ocala, Marion County, Cedar Key, Levy County. So a little bit different areas than we were thinking earlier on. It's about where that overlap is here. And it seems like that might be a little bit further south here with the best instability, the best shear factors. So that could be an issue for us again. You have areas like Cross City in here. Some of these areas really hit by Idalia further back to the west are underneath this tornado watch here. Again, we maybe weren't expecting it. In some ways, you saw the forecast wasn't for tornadoes down here, but we've seen this pattern to some degree. It's a little bit different today in a way, but seen this pattern here before, so we just have to be on guard in these type of situations here. And again, a tornado watch now issued until 5 o'clock here, until 5 o'clock, as we're looking further on down toward the south here, in toward north central Florida and the like. So just keep checking some of our different modes here again. Seeing some of this weak rotation here. We're already on shore and it's not too tight, but around US 98 we'll watch. And again, just keep checking here, keep tracking. Again, we're monitoring it. I'm monitoring it here. Trying to give you the very latest. Just bear with me. Trying to give you guys the updates here. Just hate to have a tornado warning jump on us real quick, and then we'd have to get back in soon. And sometimes it takes a couple extra minutes, and you could always have a debris signature real quick before we could get back on. So just even though it's not very popular down here, I just want to err on the side of caution in that regard as we continue to give you guys the very latest here. Give you guys the very latest. Again, live on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and Twitch. But if I don't see a new type of warning here soon, I wrap it for a bit and then just kind of play it by ear. Again, this is right near the coast. Very rural out here, though, as we've talked about. But there's that notch there to some degree as we're looking at our Doppler technology here today. Okay, more reports now of damage. This is in toward Thomasville, southeast side of town. 3 miles southeast of Thomasville, downtown maybe, I guess you would call it. There's pictures of trees and power lines down across and along Old Monticello Road. So gotta wonder there. I noticed on Moody's radar, we didn't see the debris signature or anything, but it was so just a little bit tighter rotation, a little bit higher level, I believe it was. But gotta wonder if we had even a quick spin up around there in southeast Thomasville. I don't think that's completely out of the realm of possibility. Again, this here, quick spin up isn't out of the realm of possibility either, and it's about to be on shore here. That's why I'm kind of sticking with this. If we don't get a warning in another couple scans, then maybe I wrap it up. So I'm not that impressed with the other warning, the other thunderstorm warning, but if it's a tornado warning, we have to be on the air. Thunderstorm warnings are easier to suppress, and we'll be on if we need to be, but that one didn't seem like maybe it's really overwhelming right now, but we just gotta pay attention. But this down here could be something that's more pressing in terms of like a tornado warning, especially that tornado watch now in play here at 5 o'clock. Report to the area. So again, we're just tracking it. We're all here checking it. I know that risk for excessive rainfall more focused out toward the west than toward the Tallahassee jurisdiction and the Jacksonville jurisdiction. But nonetheless, we'll just continue to watch here. Continue to give you guys the latest. I know, by the way, it was tornado watch number 720 here. I believe that's the combination of the number of severe thunderstorm and tornado watches this year issued in the country. by the Storm Prediction Center there in Norman, Oklahoma. But again, continuing to watch here, continuing to track. I'm kind of just almost filling time here at this point because we're going to wrap it, but I don't want to be in a spot here where we have to just jump back in really quick with a new tornado warning. So with this being such a rural area here too, I mean, it's just another reason to kind of stick with it a little bit longer. And that, I mean, you just kind of never know here. I mean, you know, in this type of spot, I mean, we still could have some issues here. I know we have areas sometimes they're more populated, and then that would even be more concerning though. But definitely sticking with it for this rural area. Hopefully not having to stick with it as long. If something more populated, maybe it just goes straight to a warning. You never know. But again, I know it's been pretty busy last few hours for us here. I mean, I know some of these they've been warning on have been kind of disorganized, but some of them still producing anyway in this pattern. So that's something to kind of bear in mind. Something to kind of bear in mind here. Again, you always hear, or you always hate to hear about trees and power lines down, like what we're hearing toward Thomasville. At least one little area there. Hopefully, it's nothing too widespread, though. That'd be good news if that's the case, not too widespread. Okay, that's tightening up. And yikes, okay, we have to check that for debris here in a moment. But pictures of trees and power lines down across and along Old Monticello Road in the Thomasville area. I know another reason to be on, just, I mean, by the way, flood advisory for parts of Jefferson, Leon, McCullough to 130. I mean, even in a rural area like this here, I mean, sometimes you almost want to give people more notice because of cell phone service issues and the like. I mean, I just have to be kind of warning to give folks a little bit more heads up because sometimes you're not able to get that out there. I mean, if your signal's going in and out some, then just at least telling you guys that something could happen here while you have that signal. As you're driving around, maybe, hopefully you're not, but if you are, then at least that could be a little bit helpful. They just canceled the severe thunderstorm warning, by the way, but I feel like I'm making a tornado warning here soon. We'll give it a few more scans. I feel like it's going to be something that happens here sooner rather than later, but it is very unpopulated, again, as we've alluded to out here, but again, it's good to get noticed in a way if you're in a more rural area in that regard, because in case you get something, but then you kind of lose that signal, at least you know that could be something headed your way. Again, they just canceled the severe thunderstorm warning for Madison, Berry, and Brooks, Cook, Lanier, and Lowndes. Seeing some of that decay on that other area. I was kind of highlighting that. Didn't really see a lot going on up there. No longer at severe limits. Again, we're going to keep looking. Going to keep watching here. So we don't have to have any active warnings to stay on for too much longer here. Unless, again, we were to happen to get an extension there of some type of threat here in play in terms of actually getting another tornado warning with a tornado watch till 5, though. But you see the advisory in the north, don't see too much around Douglas. Again, just focusing here. We're really kind of just at this point trying just to stay on a few extra minutes here in case they were to issue something. But the tornado watch does go to 5 now. That new tornado watch. That's kind of a big deal here. We're just going to have to keep looking at things, keep tracking things here. And Roy, you have that whole line down there, really, that could be an issue as it comes into maybe more instability here. This is about the worst time of day for this to happen because this happened at night. You'd be asleep and you wouldn't be getting noticed, but I don't think this would be as strong either at night. That's the thing about it. The severe potential here could be increased because of this happening right at peak heating per se. So that could be an issue for us here with this kind of organizing coming on in and the like. So again, I'm just going to keep on looking at things here. You can see there is some weak rotation. Honestly, maybe not quite as strong as it was a moment ago. The wind modes here, yeah, they're not showing it quite as strong. You see some winds there, maybe 30, 40 moving toward period. No advisory in play right now, but it's definitely something to keep our eyes on here. Again, I feel like because of the way it's set up here, it's going to be more, again, you saw where the tornado watch was. I kind of agree with that area here in pretty good fashion. I mean, really, I mean, when you're thinking about it here, so that's something we're going to have to watch here for. The conditions favorable for tornadic activity in and close to the watch area. Okay, so we're just south of US 98 with this. We're not seeing a tightening of this. Okay, they're going to go with an advisory. They're going to go with an advisory. So we're going to catch our breath. I need to catch my breath just for a little while here since we've been talking for a while now. I don't have any active warnings. They're just saying a strong thunderstorm will impact some of these areas. It could intensify, and if it did, a warning would have to be issued towards Scanlon, Cabbage Grove, and some of those other surrounding communities, 16 miles east of St. Mark's here with this axis, moving northeast at about 30 miles an hour. So again, this is an advisory here to about 12 o'clock. Gusts to about 40 miles an hour would be the main concern in here right now. But again, this could strengthen, so just stay tuned here. We've had this happen before in this area. Stuff could definitely strengthen, and if it does, if we get another warning, we'll be here to let you guys know about it here at once. If it's a tornado warning, I'll be jumping in. If it's a thunderstorm warning, at least posting, depending on the population, but depending on just the overall strength of things, and maybe jumping on in here, just kind of weighing those here in totality. Again, gonna wrap it for now. I'll be back here as necessary through the day, so keep it tuned here. Maybe we'll get really lucky and not have to come back, but if not, then that'd be great news, and you'll just be following the storms that are still gonna come through, whether they're severe or not, on cloudweather.com/radar. But for now, stay tuned, stay safe. We'll be here watching. We'll be here tracking. If there's more warnings, especially tornado warnings, we'll be on for sure for any of those here. And it's a thunderstorm warnings that are more significant looking here, that have at least a row level concern here for us. We'll be jumping in for that as well, as we're in alert mode here on this Sunday. Stay tuned, stay safe.